when there's still 2 more rounds of basketball to go. I said, oh, interesting take. I never would have suspected that. I said, well, what's going on in your city? And I was talking to somebody in New Orleans, and they were like, well, wait till I tell you. And it's really fascinating. There's a whole other team. We have the New York Knicks here. They have the New Orleans escaped inmates that they're all keeping track of.
The New Orleans jailbreakers?
In New Orleans, yeah, the New Orleans jailbreakers, LOL. Too easy is what that's the catchphrase. Like we had like Yankees, how you doing? They have the New Orleans jailbreakers, LOL, too easy. Yeah, it's a really wild story, especially when you look at the video. There's video, from a surveillance camera of the inmates actually escaping. So what happened was 2 days ago, I guess, on Sunday night or Saturday night. I want to say Sunday night.
No, I think it was before that.
Friday. Yeah. Thursday night into Friday morning.
You forget how many days off you take.
That's right. And I take
Deserved.
How many days of rest I require, you mean?
Yeah, the company says.
In order to accomplish realistically what you do on a week-to-week basis, this is what the human body requires. But so on Thursday, I guess, is when this happened. New Orleans, and this is one of those things where, like, I would imagine the jail has to sit there and be like, do we have to tell everybody that this happened? This is crazy.
Well, they waited long enough.
Yeah, that's why I thought it didn't happen on Thursday, because I feel like we would have been at least group texting about it for days and days and days. But yeah, they waited. When did they actually tell people, listen, there was an upsa-daisy at the jail?
I think I read that the DA found out on the news. Like watching the news, that some inmates he had put away were gone.
And this is why the local news is so important. People believe, they go, oh, it's all internet, it's all streaming, it's all YouTube. No. A lot of times the DA gets very valuable information just by watching the local 6 p.m. news and seeing this video of a never-ending. It looks like when you turn the lights on. And all the rats or cockroaches go scattering, like all
Popeyes.
Popeyes, and you go, this is an impossibly large number of beings that are all scattering, like it's never ending. There's just inmate after inmate after inmate, just running out. What appears to be out the front door. It might have been a back door, I don't know, but it looks like in the video, if you don't have any context, it's just all the inmates running out the front door, and you're like, wait a second. How did this happen? People are asking Twitter's AI Gronk, how did they get away? Yeah, so apparently it was 10 of them, 10 inmates that escaped. And in the days since they've escaped, we have found 4. 4 have been detained, I believe.
40%.
40% is good, and so 6 of them remain at large, considered armed and dangerous. And I said, well, how could they be armed if they were in jail? And they said, well, if they're willing to go to jail and then also escape from jail, they may find ways to get weapons. I said, okay, that's a great point. So I would consider them potentially armed and dangerous. 3 of the inmates were captured over the weekend, and then 1 was found yesterday. So they didn't all stay together. They went their separate ways. They split up.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's not like it's 10 friends.
No. They
want to go live together.
They shared a life experience,
yeah.
Which will forever bond them. There certainly is a fraternity amongst them. But number 1, yes, they're not 10 lifelong friends. This is not Stand By Me. And number 2, it would be very suspicious if all 10 were together, because it's so much easier to be like, I found 10 people in the neighborhood that I hadn't seen before. Also, they appear to be armed and dangerous.
You don't think this is a strength in numbers situation?
Not in this situation. I don't think so. No. Also, I'd start worrying real quick about a Yellow Jacket scenario, where the people could start dying, they start getting eaten. I mean, who knows?
I mean, they're in a city. I don't think they would have to go.
They wouldn't have to, but
hungry enough to cannibalize.
When there's 10 of you and you all escaped from jail, one person escaping from jail is nuts. Remember, 2 people. Tilly was able to get 2 people out of Dannemora, right? It was 2 of them, and she got him out. That was a big deal. When 10 people escape from jail, and you look around, and there's 9 more of you, and you're like, wait, this worked? We all did this? society's rules no longer apply, and you have to start like why don't we eat each other?
Because there's food everywhere.
But that's what society tells you to do.
Go get some gumbo.
Well, you can't go into most gumbo places because they'll be like, "Hey, aren't you one of the 10?" And they'll be like, "Yeah."
Wear a
Unfortunately,
mask. Follow the science.
maybe that's what it is. Maybe you have to start going like, "No, I heard it's coming back," and you put a mask on, and you can conceal yourself that way. Maybe.
Say, I would like some gumbo. I happen to be immunocompromised.
But I'm just here
I'm
for.
going to stay outside.
I'm gonna. Yeah. I'm gonna. But I have to wear this baseball cap too because I'm prone to sunburns. However,
Or my hair's not done.
yeah, I would like the gumbo. The district attorney said on Monday he blamed it on a cascading series of breakdowns. He said a cascading series of breakdowns contributed to the escape. And I was just like, finally, somebody's being specific about what's going wrong. Finally, we're getting to the bottom of this. We're getting some answers. He said on Thursday night, they go at 10:30 is bedtime, he said. 10:30 p.m., all the inmates know that's bedtime, and everybody has to go to bed.
Which, you know what I thought of when I heard that?
Feels late?
It feels late for some people in this room, and I feel like Troy would be really annoyed at having to be in jail.
Oh, yeah, Troy, it'd be like 9 p.m., and Troy would be like, why is it so loud? Like, he'd go into bed. Why are the lights still on? That's right.
That would fuck him up.
100%. 10:30 feels late. I thought you go into your cell at like 8 p.m. and have to just figure it out. But 10:30 is bedtime. They waited, right, until like a little bit, like 12:30 or after midnight or something like that. And the guard, which I would imagine is one of the cascading series of breakdowns, the guard pieced out for a second to get something to eat. So he just went. It's like in the Epstein jail. It was like shopping for motorcycles. In New Orleans, the guard was like, well, I'm hungry. And so I'm just going to go grab something to eat. You guys are good, right? You're going to stay in these cells.
I'll grab a beignet.
Yeah, I'm going to go grab a po' boy. He said.
At the cafeteria.
At the cafeteria. We're in New Orleans after all. He said, now listen, you guys are all going to stay locked in these cells while I grab a po' boy, right? And they said, yeah, absolutely. Of course, these cells are definitely locked. And he said, okay, because I'm going to have to make it fresh. I'm going to be there for a while. They said, that's not a problem. We'll probably be asleep by the time you get back. He said, okay, I'm going to go grab my po' boy. And so he went and he left. And while he was gone, they started like a bunch of inmates started, I don't know, shaking on the door and yanking on the door of this cell. And they did it until the door broke. Now, I would have to imagine that it was weakened over the course of days, weeks, and months. I can't imagine that they had this whole plan and that it all rested on, as soon as he's gone, we're just going to shake this cell door until it breaks. That feels like it's too much of a risk because most cell doors don't break. So I have to believe it was weakened at some point. Yeah, see, there they are. They're shaking it, and it does look like it moves when it shakes. So maybe they were realizing this door is already kind of broken, and nobody's coming in to fix it, knowing, like, I know it's one of those sliding doors. I would guess that they knew, they knew, look, at some point, if we put enough muscle into this door, we can break this door. So that would be the second in the cascading series of breakdowns. They didn't fix the door, and the guard needed a po' boy. Now, after they got the door open, all the men that were in the cell, they snuck into another cell, which sounds to me like it must have been an empty cell, because that cell, I guess, was open. It wasn't locked. Because they go in there, and within minutes, that's what the guard says, I think. I think the reason that the report says within minutes is because the guard says, I was barely even gone. I came right back. I don't know how they moved that toilet so quick. Because apparently, within minutes, they were able to move past a metal toilet and squeeze through a small hole that was carved in the wall behind the toilet, which is like something out of a movie. That's exactly what you expect. Now, I would imagine over the course, again, of weeks and months, they were probably unbolting the toilet. They were, using tools to get the hole in the wall and everything. Like, this is clearly something that they had planned. I do wonder if all 10 of them were in on it, because it's hard to believe that the 10 of them could keep a secret. I feel more like it was probably like 3 or 4 of them, and then another 5 or 6 went, oh, are you guys escaping? I'd like to escape too. And once the 3 or 4 were out, like 5 or 6 more were just like, oh, there's a hole in this wall. We can all leave if you guys want to.
You think there was anybody, and I hate to phrase it this way, but it's the only way that I can think about it. Anybody kind of like me, where like you and Troy will sometimes try to exclude me, like, hey, can I come
100%.
here? Can I go there with you guys? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
You think there was anybody that was like, can I come too?
No, yes. I think it was like, yeah, like you figured out that Troy and I were doing something. You didn't quite know what it was, but it felt like an escape plan.
You guys
you're
were
like,
being sneaky.
I think it's an escape plan. This feels escape plan-ish. And then you went, are you guys coming up with an escape plan? And we looked at each other. And then we went, no, we're not coming up with an escape plan. But you were like, why did you guys just look at each other like that? And then we looked at each other again and both went, I don't know. But we're not coming up with an escape plan. And then you said, if you are, can I come too? And we said, yeah, but we're not. You need to go back to your cell, and we're going to go back to doing what we were doing. And then you got suspicious.
Right.
And then you saw what we were doing, and you saw us escape.
Which I would, because I would peek.
Of course you would peek. And then you see us escape, and then you realize the guard is still out for his po' boy. And then you say to your cellmate, the guys wanted me to go with them.
You think I would make it or like lie to myself?
Yeah, because you wouldn't want him to think you were excluded, because you've been telling everyone that you're friends with us.
Yeah.
And so he goes, the guys wanted me to go with them. And then that is the trigger, which goes like, instead of me and Troy and maybe 1 or 2 other cool people, like you saying the guys wanted me to go with them, everybody else realizes, oh, if Travis can go, we can all go. And that's how you get 10 people escaping from jail all at once. Because there's no way that 10 people keep the secret. No. That's not happening.
I would keep the secret.
Although I think in Escape from Alcatraz, I think they all knew, didn't they? Because when they found out that they were gone, they were like all cheering.
And I'm sure that's what it's like here.
Yeah.
Oh, but do you think that everybody knew that they were working on it?
Here or in Alcatraz?
Either way.
No.
Yeah.
No, you only tell those who need to know.
But they knew something.
Otherwise, I mean, they're snitches.
But they knew something was going on.
Yeah.
They just didn't know exactly what it was. Yeah, because there are snitches that will go like,
oh, they guess what they're doing.
Yeah. Unless I'm part of the plan, I'm going to tell everybody.
Yep.
No, yeah. You keep that close to the vest.
Right. And then there's a Travis out there that's like starts,
No.
Oh, yeah.
I would be cool.
And then we went like this. We went like, is there any way we could make this small, the hole just small enough that you and I can fit through, and then Travis can't fit through it?
You think there's a hole anywhere in this world that I can't fit into, but Troy can?
That's what we said. And then Troy was like, we can't do it. Plus, then you would remind me, no, his vertebrae is flexible like a rat's. And I'd go, oh, you're right. He could slide under door cracks and stuff.
Yeah, he's like a snake. He can slide right
that's
under.
right.
You'd probably be able to convince me, like, no, you stay. We need you to stay here.
Right.
We're coming back for you.
Right.
And I'd be like, okay.
That would be the move.
Right. So then they sneak through the hole, and then they go out the door, and they're outside of jail, which has to be the greatest feeling in the world. Like, oh my God, we're out of jail. And then, in order to get to freedom, like off of jail property, all of them, and there's video of this on like, security cameras and CCTV or whatever it is, where they all run across a highway. Like there's a highway right next to the jail, and they just go fuck it, and they run across the highway, which is like, and it's an extremely wide highway. It looks like
6 to 8 lanes.
Yeah, like I was gonna say 4 lanes on each side, so it's about 8 lanes. Yeah. And I mean,
but I mean, at that point, that's the last thing you're worried about.
Fuck it. And luckily, it's 1:00 in the morning, so there's traffic, but not as much as it would be, and. I think that when you got 10 people, you don't go. It's like the glass bridge game in Squid Games. You don't go first, but you don't go last.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the strategy. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't go last because, you know, you're going to fuck something up or chicken out or whatever. And you don't go first because you haven't figured out your strategy yet.
Right.
But if you're right there in the middle.
Like Frogger.
Right.
Yeah.
And you run with like 3 people at the same time, there's enough of a body of you can get there.
And then I feel like after you get past that highway, that's like
Freedom.
that's the final boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just all split up.
you're like, what do we do now? Like the whole, now the plan is done.
Yeah,
Like
now
we
what?
did the plan. We did the whole plan. I can't believe that worked. Like you're like, oh my God, that worked. And then like part of you has got to be going, we're in so much trouble.
We're fucked.
We're in.
I mean,
I can't believe how much trouble we're in. And it's like, all right, let's just go and see. I think like for the rest of your life now, which could be an hour, it could be years. It could, who knows? You're just like,
Decades.
yeah, let's just see what happens next. Right? You like there's no at that point there's no planning for life whatsoever. I may be back in jail by the end of the weekend with everybody really mad at me, meaning the people who work there.
And in way more trouble.
Way more trouble.
Like there's one guy that escaped that has like murder. But the rest of them,
right.
I mean, you're going to be out in a few years or whatever.
Whose plan do you think that started it?
Probably the murder guy.
Yeah.
He's like, we should get out of here.
We should all get out of here. Wouldn't it be they're like, well, I'm going to get out of here in 6 months. But today?
Yeah, but you could be out today.
And they're like, yeah, I would. Because it is, when you've got nothing to lose, it's easier to do it with a big group of people.
Of course.
You want to do it with the big group of people. Did they find the murder guy?
No.
Of course not. Of course not. He's the one.
He's the one that's
because
8
in his
steps
head,
ahead.
yeah, in his head, he had his individual plan of where he's going to hide, where he's going. I mean, most of the other guys, I'm telling you, most of the other guys were not part of the planning process. They just found a hole in the wall and went, yeah, whoever wants to come through the hole, come on. The more the merrier. Guards out getting something to eat.
Then you get out, and then what's the plan? I mean, what do
Well,
you
the
do?
murderer had a plan.
The murderer had a plan. He probably had a shack in the forest or something somewhere. Or like a friend who was going to take him over state lines and go. Like, because that would probably be the trick, is to get over state lines as quick as possible and then try to get to Mexico or something. I mean, New Orleans, unfortunately, is not terribly close to any border of another country.
No, but they had enough time, and now they've been gone enough that everybody assumes they're no longer in the state.
Yeah, which is tough.
Yeah.
It's a big country we got, and also it's been enough time that they could have gotten. I mean, it's Thursday night you're talking about. You've had Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, you've had it plenty of time to get to Mexico. So, yeah, they found 4 of them. When the guards came back, the first thing they saw was a big hole in the wall where the toilet once was. And graffiti all over it. A smiley face with the tongue out. S my D was written there. It says suck my dick. And then one person wrote too easy LOL. Unfortunately, while it is a hilarious thing to write, it is unfortunately the wrong version of the word too. You know, that requires 2 O's in that too.
All right, so
To
Troy's
say
like, yeah,
too
okay,
easy.
fine.
Right.
Yeah, I misspelled it.
You know what would be great? If we were escaping with Troy and he wrote too easy LOL and you and I were in the back like giggling with each other, just go, just let him write it, just go. And then as soon as we got out of jail, I was like, bro, you know you wrote the wrong 2? And you're like imagine going, we're free. And I go, Troy, you wrote the wrong 2 on the wall.
Here, look, I took a picture.
And you're like,
Oh,
what the fuck, dude?
they're gonna think I'm an idiot.
It's the wrong 2? They're going to put that picture everywhere. Yeah. You wrote the wrong 2.
I probably wouldn't spell anything I wasn't certain of,
Well, you would think because that is the right way to write 2, but
you would just
not
write your
too
name?
easy.
or like draw some dicks with veins.
That would be smart. Because you know how to do that. You know how to do that.
Oh yeah, I could.
I also and see, here's another reason why I think that the original plan was not all 10. The wall says "I'm innocent" in Sharpie, and then it's crossed out to write "we."
Oh,
See that? It says "I'm innocent," and then they crossed out "I'm," and they wrote "we innocent."
that's the murder guy.
Yeah.
I would imagine the murder guy wrote "I'm," and then the rest of it. I think the same person who wrote "too easy" with 1 O probably wrote "we innocent" because you would replace "I'm" with "we're," not "I'm." But regardless.
It'd be funny if they got caught, like they're graffitiing the wall.
Yeah.
To be funny, and then they get
The last guy out
yeah.
is like, it's like, we're gonna, Oh, no.
shit.
Come back. First of all, where'd you get that Sharpie? You're in a lot of trouble. Yeah. So, they're out. There's a litany of charges. They range from 19 to 42 years old, aggravated assault, domestic abuse battery. There's one guy who did a murder in there. They said that they scaled down a wall, that they made the hole and carved it with some kind of toiletries. They wouldn't say exactly what it was. I would imagine a sharpened or some sharpened toothbrushes. That's what I'm thinking.
To get the toilet off?
To get
the wall?
I would think the toilet gets off the wall with a sharpened toothbrush that you can kind of use very slowly as like a screwdriver. You know,
Yep.
do it the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And then was the hole
The
there?
hole's there. Because that's where like pipes go and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
You squeeze through. So yeah, I think a sharpened toothbrush unscrewed the toilet.
And they've been complaining, not the inmates, but like people that work at the jail have been complaining for years about how much repair this jail needs. You know?
Yeah, I mean the doors are breakable, and we can get the toilets off the wall with a toothbrush. So yeah, I would say that's a fair assessment. Also, nobody you would think that all this would be discovered when the guard comes back from getting food.
Right. When
That's
he looks
when
at
you
his
would-
cameras.
Unfortunately,
He's like, huh.
this happened at around midnight or a little after.
Yeah.
They do a head count at 8:30, so they go to bed at 10:30. They wake up at 8:30, which is really, by the way, humane. Some of these jails they
10
make them wake
hours?
up at 5 a.m.
Pretty
Like,
good.
yeah, and 8:30 is a nice time to wake up. That's usually when I kind of naturally would wake up.
Sun's out.
Guns out,
Yeah, well, always.
and especially now that they're escaped, it's armed and dangerous. So they did a head count at 8:30 in the morning, the next morning. And they were off by 10. They said, wait just a second. Everybody out. No, this is all of us. This is everybody that's left. The cell block was half full. And it had been that way. So they got an 8-hour head start before anybody even realized they were gone. They got 8 hours.
That's so much time.
I mean, they were probably running, like it was probably 2:00 in the morning, and they're like, we got to go quick. They're going to be on our tail. It's weird that I don't hear any sirens or anything, but I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure it's coming. And by like 5 or 6 in the morning, and you're realizing there's nothing on the news, there's nothing anywhere. It's kind of like, maybe we can just walk instead of run. Maybe we don't have to be in as much of a rush as we thought that we did.
You wonder how there wasn't people watching the surveillance
He went to get a
cameras.
po' boy.
It was just the one guy who was watching. Cause what about shouldn't there be? There should be a guy in the cell block actively, and then there should be somebody in the room
You would think.
watching the cameras. That guy was motorcycle shopping.
Oh, again, they love motorcycles.
It's these motorcycles
They get them every time.
every time. I mean, it is a wild scene. So yeah, so 4 of the 10 have been caught. 6 have not. You know and I'm not a pro-criminal person, but my thing about people who escape from jail, and I do love a jail escape. I mean, you know, they locked up the Count of Monte Cristo. He got out. That's how he became the Count of Monte Cristo. It's one of the greatest stories ever. Literally my favorite story of all time is the Count of Monte Cristo. And it revolves around a guy escaping from a maximum security prison. And he gets out, and he becomes the Count of Monte Cristo. It's an amazing story. But even before this, I've said this publicly. My working theory is that there should be a law that if you escape from jail, you're out. Okay? Out. Like, don't do crimes because you can get right back in jail.
But your conviction is over.
But you did it. Like, you got out. There's a system at play. It's like, okay, we're going to put you through the judicial system, and we're going to lock you in jail. The reason, otherwise, why is the jail so secure? If you can escape and just get put right back in, let's not, even lock the doors at this point. We're building something that we're saying you can't escape from, even a criminal mastermind. You are locked in here.
And they're accepting that responsibility.
Right. But if I outsmart you, I'm free. And then I think the state has to say, yes, that's what it is.
I don't disagree. I think that's a fair rule.
I think, yeah.
I think it might, if
And
that
by
was
the
a
way,
public rule, that might lead to more attempted jailbreaks because people...
Fine.
That'd get better.
But
Okay,
that's
okay.
right. I have no problem. I think every inmate should be attempting a jailbreak. All of them.
I think that's what happens with like slaughterhouses. Like when a cow escapes,
That cow is free.
it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
they put it in sanctuary. It's like, okay,
You did it.
you did it.
Yeah, you
got
read
out.
that like anytime like a pig or a turkey like is wild and running around.
Yeah.
Once they catch them,
Right.
yeah, you get to live forever. Yeah.
Congratulations. And by the way, I think you would have less
That's
crime.
a great point.
Yeah. And I think you have less crime in jail if that happens because people would be working together trying to figure out plans to get out because it would keep them active. You know what I mean? It would keep the brain active. Like you'd just be sitting there because a dream only becomes unattainable when you stop trying to achieve it.
So you would consider breaking out of jail to be a dream?
Of course. I mean, every single person who goes to jail. Troy, if you got locked up, I don't care if you get locked up for 1 year.
Right.
What are you doing for the year?
You just dream about getting out.
Right, because if I told you if I told you you're in jail for the next year, but here's a plan that you could escape from jail within 8 months. Number one, you get the exciting experience of escaping jail.
Yep.
Number two, you get out 4 months early.
Yep.
Now listen, escaping from jail would still be a crime while you were doing it.
So if you get caught doing it, you're fucked.
If you get caught doing it, you're fucked.
And you can't hurt anybody while doing it.
Absolutely not. You can't do assaults while doing it. No assaults, no murders. You can't do crimes while doing it because you're not in jail for those crimes. What you'd be exonerated from is the crimes you were convicted of. If you do more crimes to get out, then that's a different thing.
Now I don't want to go off into a different.
And by the way, if you're on jail property and you get caught, you're fucked. You have
Oh,
to be,
yeah.
You
You're
have, to
still-
be, you have to be across the highway.
you're still in jail.
You have to be
Yeah,
across the highway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, how can that be a dream if yesterday you said that dreams only count after 15 years?
Jail rules are different.
Jail rules are different.
The
Okay.
whole time
I
continues.
figured you'd have an out.
No, yeah. Jail rules are very different for a couple reasons. Number one,
You're living in a whole new ecosystem.
you're in a whole new ecosystem, and it's like also if your dream is to be a football player and you're sitting in jail, it's a ridiculous dream. You're in jail.
You have never seen the Stone Cold Steve Austin vehicle.
Okay, look. If you can make that dream, you have to pick because you can.
I've seen prison football movies
and
before.
I do love that the longest yard is a Stone Cold Steve Austin vehicle.
Yeah, that's the one.
I would agree.
Is there another one?
I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think once you get out of jail and get off prison property for that crime that you were in jail for, you can't go back for it.
Done.
And also, you can't get arrested for escaping from jail at that point
Yeah, no, you got out.
because
I
that's
agree
a
with
loophole.
that.
You're out. Now, people go, well, you want criminals on the street? No, because if they do more crimes, they go back to jail.
Yeah.
And if they, by the way, if they escape again, they escape again.
If you reoffend.
That's us. That's us. We have to have responsibility as the state for having jails that keeps people in. But I truly think what you would get, you're almost gamifying the prison system, right? Where everybody,
I mean, this will be a reality show one day.
of course it would.
We're already talking about making reality shows about immigrants winning citizenship.
Which I can't.
We're not that far away.
100%. 100%. Out of jail is what I would call it. Out of jail. But yeah, I mean, and then I think it's like clean slate. And by the way, if you don't do crimes after you escape from jail, guess what? You've been rehabilitated. The prison system works. But I think it would keep prisoners occupied,
I like it.
right?
Yeah, I like it too.
Because you'd be sitting there the whole time trying to figure out how to break out of jail, and it would stop you from doing other bad stuff in jail, right?
There's no reason we should be treating animals better than people.
No,
That's right.
absolutely not. And you wouldn't do stuff in jail. Like you wouldn't be abusive to people in jail thinking, well, I'm never getting out anyway, so I'm just going to treat this person like less of a human being. You'd know, well, if I escape, I'm going to have to live with the consequences of what I did in this jail, at least mentally, at least on my conscience, and I don't want to do that.
Now, does this apply to all levels of jail?
All levels.
Okay.
Because you're telling me that those, we as tax...
So if Charles Manson was able to escape, and I know that's very, very hard. He's in a maximum security prison.
and dead.
And also dead.
Yes.
But if while he was still alive,
Yeah.
he escaped,
If Chapo escapes, he's good to
you'd
go.
be like, okay,
You did it.
Epstein.
one for you.
You're good. Hey, man. You're
Diddy,
good.
if he gets out, it's
Well, technically,
If Diddy gets out-
technically, he's not been convicted of anything.
That's a good
Now,
point.
some of these people were still in pre-trial. So where do we land on
Oh,
that?
that's a great question. That's well, no, because no, they still have to go to trial. They still have to go to trial.
Okay.
They still have to go to trial. You can't. I'm talking about escaping from prison.
I can't imagine escaping
Not jail.
from prison in pre-trial.
Yeah, yeah. No, you can't. Ted Bundy did that. Ted Bundy did that while he was awaiting trial. Remember, he went to the library and jumped out a window.
Yeah.
So, no. And also, that's a terrible idea, because if you escape from jail pre-trial, you're clearly guilty.
Yeah,
because
you don't even know what you're getting yet.
Right. If you're not guilty, and you're confident that a jury will agree that you're not guilty, you don't need to escape from the jail, because once the trial's over, you're going home.
Well, they all said we innocent.
And they are now, because they escaped.
Yeah, they wouldn't have wrote that if they weren't innocent.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's 100% right.
They might be criminals.
If
They're not
anything,
liars.
if anything, based on the grammar, our school systems failed them.
Yeah.
You know, that's really the crime.
The public schools.
The teachers should be locked up.
That's who I blame.
Yeah.
Linda McMahon needs to take a hard look
She
in the
needs
mirror.
to look. Yeah, yeah. We can solve a lot of problems based on this. Yeah, no, I think no, this doesn't apply. This only applies to convicted criminals.
Okay, so the people that escaped that are in pretrial phases have to go back.
They have to go
If
back,
caught.
and also the fact that they escaped from jail can be used against them in trial.
That's fair.
That's
Yeah.
totally fair.
That is totally fair.
Yeah. But once they get convicted, they can theoretically
Then
escape the next day.
They could try again.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
And if they escape on their way to jail, that counts. If you can get out of the police, you know, because
After you've been
they have to
convicted.
transport you. You're convicted.
Right.
You're staying in a jail that's attached to a courthouse.
Right.
You're convicted. They put you in the van to take you to prison.
Yes.
If you,
That's the hardest to escape. 'Cause
It's hard, but
you're seeing-
it can be done. I've seen it on NYPD Blue.
Oh, okay.
and there have been movies where it's happened. Like they
Yeah,
make
okay.
a whole elaborate car crash scenario, and like the girl comes in with a nail file to get them out of the handcuffs. Like I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. And if that's the case, you've been convicted.
That's true. That's true.
You're good to go. You just made it out of jail
You
without.
are in the jail's custody.
Yeah, and you made it out without ever going in, which is amazing.
Very impressive.
And you're one of the big winners at that point. You know, that's like good as gold.
So you could do a media tour without any
100%.
fear.
100%.
You can go
Come-
on Theo Vaughn.
100%. 100%. And Theo would have you.
Oh, for sure.
And he'd do a great interview. I'll have him up here. You could come up here. Yeah. I'd be like, did you? And you could even say it'd be like Ashley Judd in Double Jeopardy.
Okay.
I'd be like, did you do those
Is that with
crimes?
Harry Connick Jr.?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'd be like, did you do that crime? And they'd be like, 100%. Yeah, I did that.
That's
shouldn't
what I'm
have.
promoting.
Shouldn't have. But I definitely did the crime. I'd be like, you only did 6 months in jail. Yeah, but I escaped. I go, good for you. Do you feel bad about the crime? They'd probably be like, I do. I go, okay.
But I
Prison
also love
sys-
freedom.
Prison system works. Jason in Rochester. What's up, Jason?
Hey, so while you were explaining essentially, I was wondering, like, in a capitalist America, if we could, like, really gamify this and an everyday citizen can go to, like, an extended jail escape room, and if you're a citizen, you escape the escape room of jail.
I guarantee
You win
you.
the ultimate prize.
I guarantee you, if we gamified it the way I'm thinking, and it's a good idea, then there would be people who would want to go into jails that without doing any crimes, just to be able to escape the jails.
There's a whole show called Prison Break.
Right. People would be like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to live that life. And I mean, it could be tough for them, but yes, I think that's 100% right, Jason. Thank you, buddy. Yeah.
Gamify.
You have to gamify this.
Gamify the prison system.
I can't imagine. I don't know many things that are worse by gamifying them. Gamifying things usually makes things better.
Trying to think.
Right.
Nothing comes to mind.
I mean, sports was kind of lame, and then they gamified it by adding gambling,
And
people
now
love
it's
it.
the best.
Once they gamified sports games, they everybody started loving it. Spencer in Alabama.
Hey guys, greetings and salutations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I live over in Alabama, not too far from New Orleans. I'm there a good bit. Travel all over the world. New Orleans is my favorite city, but it is a fucking cesspool.
What?
The four guys that got caught have to be the dumbest some bitches on earth.
Why? You mean it's you're saying it's easy? It should be much easier to not get caught there.
Yeah, especially with an 8-hour head start.
They did get an 8-hour head start.
Dude, there are places in New Orleans the cops don't even go. I mean, you could go to the Ninth Ward. If you stay away from the tourist areas, there's no cameras. I mean, if they get caught, it will totally surprise me.
Yeah, I love the idea of, like, you know, a couple of those 4 that got caught, like one of them is dancing on Bourbon Street, like, you know, like.
Well, and that's what it was. They showed the picture, and they're walking down Bourbon Street. I'm like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you people? They could go to Chalmette, which is East New Orleans, get on a shrimp boat, and never be heard from again.
Shrimp boat would be the way to go. And if you see your old pal from the war sitting on a dock with no legs, just jump off the shrimp boat and crash it. And maybe that's what happened to that boat that broke under the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh.
The captain jumped off because he saw Lieutenant Dan.
He was just really excited.
Yeah. Thank you, Spencer. That really is. In hindsight, as far as plot devices in films to get you out of a certain act, the idea that Forrest just jumped off the shrimp boat and it crashed because he saw Lieutenant Dan is like the dumbest way to make it so that that's why he stopped living on a shrimp boat.
No, it's great. What are you talking about?
They had already gone, well, he stopped running because he felt like it.
Yeah.
And then, well, he stopped being on the boat because he crashed it because he saw Lieutenant Dan. Like, he really is, in hindsight, far dumber than he is lucky.
No,
and he's
he just
very
doesn't think.
lucky. He's a total idiot.
He's not an idiot.
He's a complete moron.
You know, he's not an idiot.
Who?
His son. Confirmed. Said he's stupid.
No, yeah, he's not.
That's a great movie.
Forrest Gump.
Oh God, I love it. You don't?
I do love it, but he is a very stupid person and doesn't deserve.
I don't know if that's what we call them anymore. But.
Well, he doesn't deserve any of the things that happened to him.
Why?
Because he's so stupid. And let's be honest, his mom slept with the principal to get ahead. I heard that kid hearing all the noises. Tim in New Jersey. What's up, Tim?
Your mother really loves
Hey, Sam. Great show, man.
Thank you, Tim.
What happens to the guards? If the guards are in on the escape, the felons get out, and then the guards can quit their jobs and can get paid to help them escape.
That's a great question. It is now illegal to help felons escape from jail unless you are a felon.
Is it?
According to my rules.
So if I am a felon and then I get the felon job.
I'm talking about in the world where we've gamified the prison system.
Right.
You can't. If you help a prisoner get out of prison and you're not a prisoner yourself, you have to do their sentence.
Oh.
You have to do their sentence. So it's like if you help a murderer get out of jail and the murderer gets out,
right?
He's good to go. But now as the guard who helped him, you have to go to jail for the person's murder.
So if you let those 8 guys out,
oh, you're fucked.
You could be serving life.
All of their
you
sentences.
You have to get somebody to let you out.
But to be fair, you would go to jail for helping the escape, but then if you could also escape, then you're fine.
Well, what are the parameters here? Because like if I'm a jail, okay.
Thank you for bringing that up, Tim.
Yeah, this is a great point.
Right.
So I'm a jail guard.
Right.
I know I'm going to get a po' boy and these guys are escaping. I'm in on it.
Right.
They escape.
Right.
Now, what do I have to do to not go to jail? Not get caught in an investigation?
Yeah.
Because like what?
Yeah, they would still have to open the investigation. There may be a trial.
I mean, there's no incentive for me. I could go to jail for murder now.
Right.
Because I'm taking on that guy's sentence. So why would anybody in the jail system help you?
They wouldn't. That's the whole point. Okay. That's the whole point. Okay. Like now, see, the way this system actually works, you
probably end up trusting jail employees more as like, you know,
the way my system works is, you know,
the gamified Mr. Beast.
If I game the way I'm you also get $100,000 and we're going to cure blind kids. But if you gamify the prison system, what you're doing is you the weak-minded are going to go, Sam, you can't reward criminals. I go, I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm creating an incentive for prison guards to completely be on their P's and Q's.
This is very Nathan for you.
And be much better. Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, and his ideas usually work. Dumb Starbucks was great. So what you're going to end up with is employees of the jail system doing the best job they've ever done because they could end up serving the sentences of the people that they're guarding if they don't. And every jail is going to get fixed immediately. Everything is going to be up to snuff. There's no Newark airport stuff here. Everything is going to, because otherwise you're going to have to answer to victims' families.
Yeah.
These families are going to be like, what do you mean there was a hole behind the toilet? What do you mean that door had been broken for months? If they escape, they're innocent. And the guard's like, I know. And then maybe the families come together of the victims and they go, okay, well, whoever's, the Congress people that are not giving money to the prison system, I blame the Congress people for helping the inmates escape because they didn't keep their jail up. And now maybe your representative in Congress has to serve the murder sentence for the guy that just escaped.
Oh, now we're going to Congress.
Maybe. If you can prove it, wouldn't that be great? Everybody gets held accountable now. And maybe we see some cool jail escapes.
That's the hope.
Explain to me how
everybody
this
stays where they belong.
And we're good. Explain to me how this doesn't work.
I can't.
Thank you. Anyway, I'll be running for office. Wheezy in Tennessee. By the way, if you want to call the show,
the plan.
This is the plan, okay? This is perfect. 866-969-1969 is the phone number. You can also tap the little phone icon if you're listening on the app right now.
Tap that app.
Tap that app. Tap that app up is what they say. Wheezy in Tennessee.
What's up, Hildred?
What's up, Wheezy?
Hey, first off, Troy is fucking crushing it on the phone.
I've heard good things today. I've heard good things.
2 questions. How far do you have to get, and how long do you have to be free to be considered jailbroke?
Okay, these are great questions. All it is distance. Once you're out, like 1 second, literally.
Jail property.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's,
if you escape your cell but you're still in the yard and you get caught, you're going right back in.
Yeah, you definitely have to be off jail property. And I kind of feel like you have to be a little further than jail property. The idea, yeah, because then you could just stand right off jail property and be like, nah.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah, but I want to see these inmates running through the highway. Like
okay,
these
so
inmates
now
had to
adding
work
on
for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you have to get
past city limits.
I'm going to be fair. I'm going to say within at least a quarter mile away on all sides.
Okay.
At least a quarter mile away, which means if you just escaped, we do have a second to get those dogs
quarter
out.
mile's not that far.
It's not that far, but it's far enough, right?
Attainable.
Right. Like a quarter mile, if you're running, 5 minutes, it's no problem.
Yeah.
5 minutes? I mean, people run a 5-minute mile.
Yeah, but we're not arresting track stars.
These aren't professional athletes.
Yeah, these are malnourished people.
We're working out in the gym.
They're not. There's no treadmills.
There's no treadmills in jail? Jail?
No, they don't have treadmills. Okay. Especially not now. By the way, we're going through all the jails and making sure every single one of those treadmills is out because that feels very much like it's against what we're doing here. Yeah.
That's a great point.
We don't average runner could take a minute 30 to 2 minutes.
For what?
For a quarter mile.
Okay. Yeah, that's not that far.
Let's go half mile then. Let's go half mile.
Half mile.
Is a half mile good with everybody?
I'm
half
fine with
mile.
that.
Half mile, because also a half mile.
I could run a quarter mile.
Right. But a half mile, if you're not training, you'll be winded after the first quarter.
Yeah.
Quarter mile, especially with the adrenaline, anybody could run. A half mile, somebody who's out of shape is going to get winded before they finish the half mile. And that would be something very, very satisfying about watching somebody escape and they're almost there, but like
they're so winded and they collapse.
That's funny to see.
It is funny.
Yeah.
It says a beginner or recreational runner would take 3 to 4 minutes for a half a mile.
And that's Google AI overview?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm going to trust him on that.
I trust it too.
Yeah. No, I think half mile is fair.
Yeah.
Half mile around all sides. Like a half mile radius.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what if you step back into that radius? What if you get to that half mile?
Okay.
But grandma's house is a quarter mile away from the jail. Because you've already said once you're out, no more. You can't be taken back in.
I think
So I would think you can go to grandma's house.
I think in order to just be, because, you know, you don't want people being bad sports about it. You don't want people showing up to jail the next day to be like, I'm here to visit. I'm here to, you know.
Hey, I forgot something in my cell.
I think you have to stay off. You have to maintain that half-mile radius for 6 months.
Okay.
So it's after 6 months you could go to the jail and visit.
Yeah. Then you can come back.
So you're on a 6-month probationary period.
6 months probation where you have to maintain your 5-month radius. Yeah, because otherwise... I'm sorry, half-mile radius. 6 months.
Then you can go back and get whatever's in the manila folder.
Yeah, get your belongings.
Get your belongings, yeah.
You can go back and get your belongings. You can't, that's fair.
Because you're going to need that belt.
Because after 6 months, I would hope you're not going to go back and rub it in.
Of course you
would. Yeah, but you could.
What can I do at that point? What can I,
You won.
Yeah. I mean, if
you want to let everybody know you won.
If you do, you do. You'll get a hero's welcome after the 6 months. But I think anything more than 6 months is not in the spirit of the game. Like, are you really a free man? And anything less than 6 months is like a little too in the favor of the prisoner. I think 6 months, half-mile.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. Jason in New Orleans. What's up, Jason?
And how are you doing? I'm here having my traditional morning po' boy. It's what we do down here. Look, I have 3 things for you because it's way worse than what y'all have been saying. Number one, so in Louisiana or New Orleans, the sheriff is the keeper of the jail. They're not really out doing criminal investigations or arresting people. It took them 2 hours after they found out these guys were gone to tell the New Orleans Police Department, hey, we've got a number of violent criminals out on the street.
So they are, wait. And they didn't find out until 8 hours after they escaped. So now we're 10 hours in, and I'm finally going to tell the police.
And in my mind, they're running around the jail like the fucking Keystone Cops in that 2 hour period. But number two, the sheriff is up for re-election this year and has blamed her political opponents for maybe helping out with this jailbreak situation.
Oh, come on.
No, I swear to God. But the weirdest thing is, number three, the governor gave a press conference the other day where he said he's going to deputize alligator hunters to go into the swamp and try to find these people. And these are his words, not mine. He said, we're going to catch them some bitches. And they rode off in the fucking General Lee. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, if you can find any of that sheriff, I'd love to hear him deputizing alligator hunters. Because I think I just saw one alligator hunter get knocked out by a guy who owns a super church. And it didn't really strike me as the person I'd want hunting down these escaped criminals.
Things are weird down here, man.
I mean, I guess they are. And I mean, they want to show a sign of force. Also, Trump has made it, say what you want about Trump. I feel like he has normalized the idea that you can push any sort of my political opponent is doing this conspiracy theory and kind of get away with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it may work.
It's all on the table now. Thank you, Jason.
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, we're so used to the madness that we're used to on a federal level. If a person running for a city office goes, my political opponent may have helped these inmates escape. I said may have. I don't know. People are like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that because I like this sheriff.
I don't see anything about deputizing alligator hunters.
Okay. Well, so, people hear wild things all the time. Now, is the mayor of New Orleans, does he sound like like that guy who is difficult to understand in The Waterboy?
Oh.
Where
possibly.
maybe the instructions are not being made fully clear.
Did you see the captain?
I thought I'm the captain now.
No, she looks like the Riddler.
Oh, whoa! That's one of those things where like she's wearing big flashy green framed angular glasses, and I don't mind somebody buying those flashy glasses. You buy things for your wardrobe that do have a little bit of flash, a little bit of personality. But there are even times where I'll go, you know what? Based on where I'm going, I'm going to change my shirt.
Yeah, tone it down.
Based on where I'm going. You know what? I
Serious
understand,
moment.
right, what perception is going to be. I understand people may call me the Joel Schumacher Riddler. Maybe I'll wear a different pair of glasses.
Because those definitely aren't your only glasses.
Right. And you see, she's giving a press conference here, and it says New Orleans captain Stephanie Minto Gibson wears bizarre glasses to a press conference to give an update on the 10 inmates. I mean, let's hear what she has to say and hear if anything takes away from the bizarre glasses, in which the first reply on Twitter says, Mardi Gras was months ago, lady.
Good afternoon, all. I am Major Stephanie Minto Gibson, and I oversee the Crime Victims Unit for the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office. Once I was notified about the escapees, I immediately gathered a team of experienced staff, and we started calling victims and survivors just to make sure that they are aware of what was going on and that they are safe.
I mean, I don't know if
records that had no information.
I guess you got to tell them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Those are one of the first people you got to contact.
Well, the first people you got to contact are probably the police. And that took 2 hours.
No, but I mean like the public. Like, you absolutely.
Yeah.
Like on Blue Bloods, anytime someone would escape. And they
I forgot you were an expert.
And they would fear like, oh, this person might be going back to like the victim who put them in the jail. Yeah. You got to let them know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or witnesses?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that's common procedure citing Blue Bloods.
Okay. And if she makes the calls, are the people on the other end of the phone go, I know we're just on the phone, but it sounds like you're wearing ridiculous glasses. Is that true? Yes, that is true. Dustin in Illinois. What's up, Dustin?
Hey, hello?
Hey, let's go.
Hey, the Annabelle doll just got moved down to New Orleans right around the time this happened, and there was an article about how they were saying it could be that.
Oh, Troy, you've talked about the voodoo.
I'm trying to tell you guys this for years.
I know. And what do we do when you go, ha ha, Troy?
You point and you laugh and you mock.
That is true. And I wish I could tell you that's not true.
They said, the same article said something about the largest sugarcane farmhouse or something like that burned down around the same time down there too.
Well, why was
trying to blame that doll for everything?
Oh, why was Annabelle doll's on tour?
Yeah.
Where's she going? I want to see the Annabelle doll.
I'll let you know.
Where's the Annabelle doll is on tour? Is Annabelle responsible? Thank you, Dustin, for the Louisiana plantation house fire and the New Orleans prison break. I mean,
it's an article for everything.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. What about the boat crash in Brooklyn? Did Annabelle do that too?
Doge.
Huh?
That was Doge.
Oh, that was Doge. That's my mistake.
That was Doge.
That was my mistake. Okay. With the anticipation of another Annabelle sequel this year, the infamous haunted doll has been making the rounds in the U.S., sending social media users into a frenzy. So has anybody who really believes in the spirit world and all this stuff, has anyone said, hey, the fact that they're using this to promote the new Conjuring movie, and this is the actual haunted, cursed Annabelle doll, maybe nobody takes it seriously? I mean, this means that the Warrens had it. This means that their son-in-law took a check, or whoever took a check. I don't know who's in charge of the thing. Somebody in charge of the Annabelle doll took a check to use it as a promotional item. There used to be a sign on it that says, whatever you do, don't touch this. Now it's on tour to promote the film. A paranormal expert. Oh, good. Okay, they got a paranormal expert. And an ex-host of Paranormal State shared footage of the doll's ongoing tour on TikTok, garnering the attention of millions of viewers. The energy is definitely different in here. Mike, if you could find that video, I would love to.
It was $100 to see the doll in San Antonio.
I would check that out.
You would pay $100.
I'd probably try to figure out some kind of like, we'd love to do like a promotional,
I could see if we could expense it.
Maybe we could barely expense sliders. I would rather I'd like to maybe see if we could do like, maybe there's an influencer thing. Maybe I could tell him I'm like an influencer. Yeah, let's listen to they go into this room and the Annabelle doll is there. I love it when they just like describe the energy, because it's just not something that you can say. I mean,
all right, proof. Annabelle, so this is where I leave you. Safe travels.
Okay, he's doing the sound from the movie for his video. That's so funny. Like, I don't understand. Is Annabelle really haunted?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we just making fun videos from the movie?
I think it's haunted.
Oh, okay.
Can dolls get haunted?
Yeah. Demons possess objects, inanimate objects. Yeah. The Warrens have a whole house full of that stuff.
Okay, it's in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
On July 12th.
It's not too far.
Unfortunately, I'll be in Florida.
Shoot.
I'm not going with you.
You want to come see the Annabelle doll?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
No.
It's just a doll.
I'm going to bring hot dog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Watch the whole room collapse. Yeah. The ceiling just starts to shake.
No thanks.
No, I know. Let's go back to the article, Mike. I want to see them saying that items such as Annabelle are being displayed throughout the nation by the Devils on the Run tour from the Warrens Occult Museum in Monroe. You don't want to go to the Devils on the Run tour from the Occult Museum?
Running with the Devil? David Lee Roth?
What if they play that? I live my life like there's no tomorrow. Wouldn't that be like...
It'd be sick.
Yeah.
David Lee Roth's on tour. Maybe he should team up.
This feels like an easy collab. One of the Warren's most well-known case files, Annabelle served. Annabelle is serving. There is no doubt. That's what they're saying about all this tour. Annabelle served.
Is that the way they're using that word?
I think it says there, Annabelle served.
Okay.
And then next sentence, as the inspiration for 3 horror films titled Annabelle. This really is. I mean, this screams word count. This article. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay, so the closest they're getting is Gettysburg?
So right now, July 11 to 13, it's in Gettysburg.
Mm-hmm.
And then October 4th, it's in Illinois, Rock Island. And then October 17 to 19, it's at Scarefest weekend in Lexington, Kentucky.
I'm going to go to Scarefest.
You're going to do that?
Lexington rules.
Okay. October 17 to 19.
Maybe I'll try the Gettysburg.
Nothing in New York City yet. That's weird.
I mean, I think they probably try to go for... I mean, this isn't like a corporate thing.
Yeah.
Secondary markets.
Plenty of places in New York City to do this.
Right. New York City charges a lot for rent. New York City, to get a venue in New York City for the day, for 3 days, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do it. There's like horror conventions, right? Isn't there one in New Jersey every year? Yeah.
Chiller Theater?
Yeah.
Chiller Theater would be a good spot.
It seems natural.
That seems natural. You get a room in Chiller Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels like a layup. I would go to that. I don't know if I pay $100.
$100 is a lot of money.
To be like, oh yeah, I saw that doll. And then somebody just Google images it, this doll? Yeah. That's what I saw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same photo, actually.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd like to see it at some point in my life, but $100? I don't think so.
And so it may have been responsible.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Sure.
New
Orleans is a weird place, bro.
You think there's voodoo involved? In the police, in the jail escape?
I understand it's hard to say, like, there's spirits and there's weird things in the air.
Go ahead.
But it feels strange down there.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Isn't that part of the vibe, though?
It is, but it's just creepy. It doesn't feel good.
Maybe that's just the air coming out all the horns. Did you ever think about that?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I told you, all those graveyards, they're above ground. It's just strange.
Right. Mausoleums.
Yeah. And there's weird voodoo gangs that hang out down there.
Right. I forgot about the voodoo gangs. Do you think any of the escaped prisoners...
Princess and the Frog.
That's right. Yeah, now, what do you think about the voodoo gangs are now a Splash Mountain?
Yeah.
Not good?
Yep.
No, not good.
It's keeping you away from anything voodoo.
Okay.
What about the voodoo glow skulls?
Voodoo glow skulls are cool.
Okay.
They can pass.
What about Godsmack?
Godsmack.
Yeah, voodoo.
That's a great song.
Okay. Well, aren't you inviting voodoo in then?
You know what? I'm not going to listen to it again.
Okay.
Thank you for
You must be glad I pointed that out.
I'm so glad. I was going to go home and bump it, but I'm not now.
Not doing that now.
No.
Forgot what the name of this song was for a sec.
What about Voodoo Child? Jimi Hendrix.
Oh.
Jimmy is the man.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Plus, Hogan came out to it the whole time he was Hollywood. You can't watch any of those matches.
No.
That sucks, huh?
I mean, it is what it is.
You got to make sacrifices at some point.
Right.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Listen, I think now is the time for the jail idea because our infrastructures are collapsing. I saw an article yesterday that said that Newark had another outage.
2 seconds.
2 seconds. No, actually, could you say that again?
2 seconds. Big deal.
100% right. I agree with you. Yes, I agree with you full-fledged. A 2-second outage for air traffic control, I would say big deal.
If I turn your mic off for 2 seconds, no one's even going to notice.
Why'd you do that?
Yeah, see?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Listen, and but they had a much longer outage like 2 weeks ago.
It's fine.
They have nothing but delays.
Don't worry about it.
There's still it's
Biden's fault, and Sean from the Real World is taking care of it.
I don't know. I'm waiting for Sean from the Real World to take care of it. This feels like one of those things that we should have a long-term plan for, but also short-term plan for.
He said it's going to take some time, and they're trying to hire new air traffic controllers. They're offering bonuses.
What do you mean they're trying to? Nobody will take the jobs because it sucks so much?
Tough economy.
What does that mean? If it's a tough economy, people would want jobs.
I would certainly not want that job.
Because the equipment doesn't work at all?
I mean, the equipment doesn't work.
And you're going to end up like that dad in Breaking Bad?
Exactly. You're in charge of so many lives.
And all of a sudden there's a teddy bear in the pool. What'd you do?
I couldn't handle
What the hell did you do? You just ruined your life because there's a teddy bear in the pool.
Barely control my own life.
And he goes, it was the computer's fault.
Yeah.
What happens when somebody blames it? I mean, Troy will say, oh, the call screening didn't work. It's the computer's fault. What do we say? Operator error. Can you imagine if you tried that bullshit?
If you tried it at Newark, they'd be like, yeah, you're probably right.
I get that. Yeah. Air traffic control. Yeah, I mean, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Stay away from Newark. That airport sucks.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm not flying out of there this year.
Yeah, no, forget it. But then, I mean, it's also an extremely populated airport, so it's not like LaGuardia, even with LaGuardia and JFK. If they just closed Newark for a year and got it up to speed, LaGuardia and JFK can't take on all that additional traffic. They can't.
Plus, where's everybody in New Jersey going to go?
So here's what we'll do.
Teterboro.
Here's what we'll do.
You got another plan.
We'll have look, you're just going to have to deal with the fact that air traffic control is going to be on the fritz. And in the meantime, we'll blame Biden. And that's what we'll do.
And maybe he'll die. But
even when he's dead, and then when he's dead, we'll blame him even more. Because he won't be able to object. Yeah.
I don't know. We don't blame Michael Jackson for a lot of things. He's dead.
He didn't do much.
That's right.
That's an innocent man.
Thank you, Troy.
Troy's going to become Biden's #1 supporter after he passes.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the issues.
My dad did text me asking if there is a length of time. Speaking of a length of how far away you have to get from the jail, what is the amount of time that you're allowed to take that you can continue to blame the previous administration?
Well, that depends on what's going on.
Right.
If it's a good thing, that's yours.
Yep.
If it's a bad thing,
go ahead.
It's the previous administration.
For
8 years.
Okay,
I'll
gotcha.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Absolutely. Yeah, because
that's great.
You don't get it. I inherited this, and it sucks. But then if things are good, you're like, see what I did?
Look, I fixed this.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's good. Okay, good. I like just understanding the rules, the rules of engagement before we get in this. Okay, that's good to know.
Like last January,
right,
when the stock market went up,
right.
The current president truthed, saying this is my stock market because everybody is so confident that I'm going to win the presidency.
When does the president? What month does the president? Oh,
this is a year before.
Yeah, it was months before.
He wasn't the president.
No, it was January 2024. But
he
then
hadn't even won the election.
No. But then a couple weeks ago, when the stock market was really down,
right.
He goes, this is Biden's stock market. This is what he did.
Right. Not the tariffs?
He specifically said it has nothing to do with the tariffs.
Okay. Well, and he's the president.
Yeah.
So it worked the other way, too, because when eggs were through the roof at the end of last year, it was like, well, Biden inherited Trump. This is still Trump's bullshit from when he was president.
About the eggs?
Oh, yeah.
4 years in, he was saying that?
That's right.
So that is how it works.
Yeah, there's no time limit.
You're allowed to do it the whole time if it's bad.
I mean,
if it's bad,
both sides do it.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's fair game for anybody.
That's amazing.
Good and bad. It was enraging when we all came back from COVID.
Right.
And Biden was like, "Look at all these jobs I created." I'm like, "No, you didn't. Everyone just went back to work."
But it was a good thing.
Everybody got their jobs back.
So he's going to be like, you're welcome for your jobs. And they were like, no, we're just going back to the office.
Yeah, no, we had these jobs.
Yeah.
Before you locked down, this is what we were doing.
We're doing this. They're not even new. They're the same.
Yeah, I'm just working again.
It's the standard amount.
Well, it's fun to blame other people.
Oh, yeah, because,
it's bad. It's way better.
For yourself.
I think that all the time. This is what I do when I do something wrong. The first thing I do.
When's that happened?
Seldom.
Very rarely.
Very rarely. And also, as time goes on, even less and less and less.
Which is why you can specifically remember them.
Right. But when it has happened, first thing I do is I sit quietly and I go, whose fault could this be? And I start like a lawyer structuring an argument as to who I could blame this on and what kind of logic trap I could get them in. And then I go, okay, got it. Hot dog, get in here.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, that's why I keep him around.
That's evergreen.
Yeah. That's why I keep him around. And also, odds are, it is his fault.
Yeah.
Because what happens is I'll blame him for something I did wrong, and in the justification for it wasn't my fault, he'll somehow explain why he did something else wrong. And then, let's focus on that. Yeah. I guess they're happening in more than just Newark. Eric in Colorado. What's up, Eric?
Hey, guys. So there was an outage a few months ago at the airport here in Denver, which is slightly larger than Newark. It's like the sixth busiest airport in the world.
You should see what's going on under it.
I'm telling you what, you really should. I think it's the alien. It's probably the aliens caused it.
Most likely.
This brings up
probably.
This brings up the whole thing. So if it's all Biden's fault,
correct,
but Trump's FAA, or DOJ, rather,
correct,
fired thousands of people who were working to upgrade the FAA equipment, then whose fault does it become?
I'm not 100% sure.
I have a coworker whose daughter works for the FAA. She does this upgrade stuff, and all of her liaisons were fired. The contract was terminated. She's got a pallet of equipment sitting there going, what the fuck?
I'm gonna quote tweet that and write interesting. yeah. I don't know whose fault it is, Eric, but I'm gonna check Truth Social and get to the bottom of this for you.
yeah. You definitely should. You definitely should. And while you're at it, pick up some eggs.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. Yeah. No, I mean it's a real issue.
Why have we gone like years with no problems flying in airports and everything was fine?
Because that's the way these things work, right? Because you know it's going to go wrong. You know something's going to happen. And you just go, I'm not going to fix it because nothing's going on right now. And you're like, if you don't fix it, something's going to go wrong. And then all of a sudden, employees start to get fired to save on budget. And at the same time, this thing that we've been warning you about happens.
Employees go on trauma leave.
And employees go on trauma leave because this thing that we told you. I mean, imagine, Troy, if you were like, this phone screening software is not going to work within 6 months. And I was like, shut up. I can see the calls. I can see them.
We're fine.
And you're like, it works now. It's not going to work in 6 months. And I'm going, you need to shut up. You need to not talk to me about it. You need to figure it out. You need to. And then it stopped working after 6 months. And I go, what's wrong with you, dude? Are we paying you too much? You'd go like, I have to go on trauma leave. You've driven me to the point of insanity. Right?
Or I just blame Opie and Anthony.
The previous administration.
It's their phone number.
It's their problem.
Yeah. They're the ones who put the phone number in place. I think we can blame them.
I do think
that would be a great strategy because I go, you bring up a good point.
Interesting.
Quote tweet, interesting.
I think one of the issues and why when Sean from the real world says like this is Biden's fault, and technically you could make this argument, is that administration did move the air traffic controlling from Newark to Philadelphia. So the air traffic controlling for Newark Airport is being done from a place in Philadelphia, and it wasn't always done from that place.
Gotcha. I mean, I also, and Sean from the real world backed me up, I felt real good about it. Don't forget, I came on this show.
Gross.
In front of everyone. But it's my show, and you guys have to deal with it.
No, it's weird.
I was on this, you have to. I was on this show, and I said, don't you think we could have tried to work some of this stuff out during the pandemic when no one was allowed to fly? And Sean from the real world must have heard the show because he took his pencil out and he wrote, I'm going to put that in my speech. That was a good one. That was a good one because that wasn't when we were in charge. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Sam. And he said that. He said, they could have done this during the pandemic, but they didn't. And I said, okay, Sean.
I mean, it's never a problem until it happens.
Right. Okay, Sean. I see you. Here's what blows my mind and contextualizes all this in a totally different way. I'm watching this Netflix doc about the manhunt for bin Laden.
They caught him. Oh.
Well, not going to watch the last episode. Thank you.
Well, there goes that.
Thanks, asshole. Well, now I know how it ends. Okay. But they go... Yeah.
Next topic
then. They start, obviously they start at 9/11 and they go all the way through. And you're going and we forget. It's been so long that we forget how locked into that we were.
Oh, yeah.
And how, locked into air travel we were. And the fact that, we have gone from, we're micro-analyzing every single person that gets on an airplane because Al-Qaeda is not done. They're going to keep going. We have to never forget. We have to never let this happen in our country again to... I don't know. Sometimes these air traffic control computers black out. It happens. What do you want to do? Is so crazy to me. When you watch this thing and you remember how hyper vigilant we were when this was all happening.
You still gotta take your shoes off.
Yeah. And shout. Well, you do.
Yeah.
You don't have pre-check.
No, it's not worth it.
And shouting, never forget. And now they're like, I don't know. The computers are old. They're using floppy disks.
Now there's co-pilots passing out and planes flying around unattended for 10 minutes.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Never forget.
It's what happened? What happened to us?
We forgot.
We totally forgot.
I did know somebody that worked at the Newark airport probably 14 years ago. And she said it was a miracle that these planes even got off the ground. It was insanity.
Back then. And they haven't replaced the computers.
She said the pilots are all nuts. They're all trying to screw all the coworkers.
Well,
they don't talk to co-pilots.
Yeah, they don't communicate well with their co-pilots, apparently.
They're kicking it to the girls at the gate.
The Panda Express.
Yeah, they go to the Panda Express. Yeah, and also there's a huge issue. They go into the pilot's lounge. They don't even talk to each other.
No.
Somebody should try to fix that.
And a lot of the co-pilots don't like to deliver bad news.
That's true.
That's bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
They end up relying on, what's her name? Amy from Evanescence. Well,
that song does have some power. So
it's a great song.
I don't know if you know what the chorus of that song's only 23 seconds.
Is that right? It's weird.
It's a weird thing to know.
Yeah, that's I need to draw some parallels there. But yeah. So it's just crazy that we're so confident in our air travel that we're like, whatever. I mean, they make new MacBooks every 16 months.
Yeah.
You have a MacBook and it is it can do anything. It's the height of technology. In 1 year and 6 months, it will be useless.
They're working on iPhones that are going to come out in 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, your phone that you have right now that can do, they say there is more technology in your phone than there was in the first rocket that, quote unquote, went to the moon.
Sure it did.
Sure. Mm-hmm. But they say there's more technology in your phone than a rocket that would hypothetically go to the moon.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
We've still got floppy disks for air traffic control.
Bro, the phone that you're holding.
And paper maps for the subway.
What's going to happen to your phone in 2 years?
I'm going to throw it away.
It's not going to work at all.
No, it's dead. It's outdated technology.
Troy, you had to replace your phone.
Yeah.
It didn't work. It was a brick.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. How long did you have it for?
2 years.
That's what I'm saying. And the air traffic control computers have floppy disks.
It's wild.
Just get them some new computers, guys.
Doesn't seem that hard. Come on.
Feel like we could shut down for a weekend. Everybody just stay home. All right. We need to go. Stay home for a weekend. Put new computers in. Yeah. And then boot up for Monday.
And I'm sure they have backups, right? So you do the one computer, and the other one's working.
Right.
And then you switch them.
Use the backup. Hello?
I mean, the shit we don't spend money on in this country is ridiculous.
Air traffic control
traffic control, fixing infrastructure like bridges.
Right.
Like roads, shit's just falling apart everywhere.
But don't worry. We'll have a parade every weekend in New York City. Every weekend. The weather's getting warm again. Let's have a parade every weekend.
Oh, they're here.
They're here, aren't
Trust
they?
me.
Let's shut down all the roads.
Troy hates the parades.
Oh, God, it's just enough.
What are we even celebrating at this point?
Everything.
We're going to hell in a handbasket. What's there to celebrate?
Yeah, what are you dancing around in the street like an asshole about?
Yeah, there's voodoo out there.
Hopefully there's a Knicks parade.
That would be fun.
That'd be fine.
I mean, I feel like there was.
I'd be fine.
Well, yeah.
But hopefully there's like a grand celebration.
Down the Canyon of Heroes.
Yeah.
We'll see. David in Ohio?
Yeah, Sam, if the last couple of months have taught me anything, everything is fine. Everything will work out.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, just keep saying that. Otherwise, you'll end up like CBS and getting sued for billions of dollars. Sure, it's, just normal editing, but it's not.
I'll have to come on the air one day and say, well, it would appear that the viewpoints of SiriusXM and myself no longer match. I'll be stepping down.
Yep. Yeah, if you enjoy your job, you'll just...
You know what?
Everything is fine.
That's a good point, David. Everything is fine.
Everything's great.
Everything's great. So we're flying. The prisoners are locked up. Everything is good.
Sit back and enjoy the show.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Economically, we're in the right spot.
Yeah.
Everything's going well.
It's fine.
Honestly, I'm getting a little sick of all this winning.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. It's too much. Comedy's legal. It was illegal for a long time. Now it's legal.
Comedy's great.
Right.
There's a lot of funny people out there.
And they're not getting put in jail.
See Tim Dillon on CNN?
The New Establishment?
I know. Yeah. Tim Dillon is the fucking man.
I think he was prepared for that question.
And he delivered it so perfectly.
Yeah. Pull that clip up. Tim Dillon did an interview on CNN. And they tried to get him. I think they underestimated Tim Dillon because they didn't send that guy who's trying to sell a book about Biden as if he wasn't part of the thing himself.
Jake Tapper?
Jake Tapper, yeah. It was like, this Biden stuff might have been more serious than we knew. No, you knew.
Yeah, you totally knew. Yeah. There's compilations of you knowing.
Bro, you knew, bro.
No.
No, I didn't. Read my book. But instead of sending Jake Tapper, I guess they wanted to tap into the, younger people. Mm-hmm. They wanted to tap into the podcast generation. So they sent their podcast gen reporter. And she went to Tim Dillon and asked about, the fact that podcasters.
El Reeve. Shout
out to Al, by the way. Podcasters has such influence, right? That they all say these podcasters had great influence over the election, that the politicians are going on podcasts now. That just maybe, podcasters are the new establishment. And, Tim was ready for it.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're part of a new establishment that's being created?
I don't think I'm part of a new establishment. I think it would be pretty difficult to look at these podcasts. I know it's a popular thing right now, especially in certain media circles, to say that after running an incredibly unpopular candidate who was introduced very late in the race because an elderly man who could not be the president, who everyone told was functioning as the president for 4 years, decided to... This wind is wild, huh?
Yeah.
See?
Can you pause for a moment? I mean, wait for good on Tim to kind of ease the tension, because in that moment you're going, oh, fuck. Oh, shit, he's got this one.
He's going to murder her.
Oh, he's got this one. Oh, boy. Because he brought up the unpopular and the old and the whole thing. I think he's got this one. He goes, this wind, huh?
That wind?
Yeah. It's like, I got you.
This wind.
A specific circumstance in which Kamala Harris ran for the presidency. Yeah. She was somewhat unpopular, and she was not a star in Democratic politics before this at all. And her communication strategy was pretty weak. I think most people have admitted that. So to hang this defeat all on a few podcasts and to say that they were the problem, I just don't buy the narrative. So I don't think I'm a new establishment. If you weigh, again, a few comedians with podcasts versus all of the people that supported Kamala Harris Democrat donors, billionaires, big people, if the idea is that me and a few comedians have more power than multi-billionaires, huge media institutions, a whole political party apparatus, I just don't think most people are going to buy that. I think it seems like
pause for a second. It's such. This is why he's a great podcaster. It's such a solid argument, and it points out that when you're trying to say, well, the reason that the Democrats lost was because of this new establishment, and it doesn't acknowledge that you, as the presiding establishment, didn't see what was going on in society, didn't recognize the faults of the Democratic candidate, didn't recognize where public consciousness was going, and that maybe a bunch of podcasters pointing out, hey, they're not speaking to us anymore, resonated more with just average people. Now, look, there are many, 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 many people who do not listen to podcasts. They also voted. You know what I mean? And I think that's what Tim's pointing out. I mean, I think you could have a conversation about the sphere of influence that has been created by podcasts, but to then try to take that argument and go, and let's now attribute it to this election it's just not winnable.
I mean, they're doing everything they can to just blame anything
other than we fucked this thing up.
Just the failures of the entire party for years and years and years and years.
Right. And by the way, I'm not either in love with the sort of, the Gavin Newsoms of the world that are going forward, and now that it's safe.
Oh yeah,
to go we fucked up, because I don't think you believe that.
No, everybody was on the same page. Everybody's going, from the same playbook.
It's the same as Jake Tapper writing a book,
and they're still not learning.
Right, Jake Tapper writing a book about the secrets of Biden or whatever the book is about, because it's you write about the secrets of you.
They're still saying, well, maybe we'll trot her out again in 2 years to run for president.
Who said that?
The party.
They're talking about putting Kamala back?
Yeah. I've heard that. I've heard she wants to run again. Yeah.
It's a bad idea.
It didn't work. Where's your new guy or girl? Who?
Why can't you put Mayor Pete up there?
Dude,
Mayor Pete seems good. Doesn't he seem kind of good?
The more I listen to him, I'm like, why isn't he?
I've been talking about Mayor Pete for a long time.
I've been talking about him for a long time.
I feel like Mayor Pete's the guy. He doesn't seem nearly as full of shit. Nearly as. Okay, that's
preface it. Yeah.
There ain't nobody running for that office that isn't full of shit.
But you need somebody who speaks well. That's why everybody fell in love with Obama, because of how well he spoke, how well he gave speeches, he rallied people.
He also doesn't strike me as somebody who is
That's why people love Trump. He speaks well. He speaks to the people.
And Mayor Pete also doesn't feel like he's now doing a complete about face to try to make himself popular with this group and that. He's been
same guy,
kind of who he is the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Is he exciting? He's not exciting though.
He's not exciting, but he speaks well. If you listen to him on Flagrant or any other just speaking to people at rallies or whatever, the only thing I can think of is, the Democratic Party doesn't think a gay guy can win the election, because there's no other reason.
That's right.
That he
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah,
I agree with that 100%. He's not first of all, we got to really relax. Trump has made it so that picking candidates as exciting, there's no, we gotta dial back our expectations, because there's nobody that's gonna come out and do insane shit the way Trump did.
Yeah.
But you think he's able to possibly get things done. I think does Mayor Pete have the ability? Does he present himself as a guy that can get things done?
I think so. In the sense that he seems like he at least has a head on his shoulders. You know what I mean? In the sense that he's not just blindly going, this is our narrative and you're either with us or against. No, we can have conversations. He can sit on a podcast, have the conversation, and not feel like he's Steve Buscemi saying, hey, fellow kids, I'm trying to impress. Any politician, and we love Andrew Schultz, but if you're trying to get a high-level elected office, and I feel like you're trying to impress any Andrew Schultz or any comedian on a podcast, if I think that you're trying to impress them, you've got no credibility in my book. Like, it should be a conversation of people.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So.
But the fact that they're not finding that guy is insane. And they're just like, well,
because they go, well, if only Tim Dillon hadn't done what Tim Dillon did.
We can't fight the establishment.
The new establishment, Tim Dillon.
Tim fucked everybody up.
Yeah. They were like, I don't understand. All right, you can go back to Tim.
Way to excuse running an unpopular candidate on a platform that American people weren't sold on.
I think even beyond politics, though, even beyond the question of the election, like, again, I know that the, like, liberal Joe Rogan conversation is so dominant, and I think not, like, nuanced enough. But there is power in a massive audience.
There's absolutely power in a massive audience, but if you're saying that power is equal to the CIA or all of these other people that have been very critical of President Trump, right?
Yeah.
So the idea that, like, the power that Theo Von has would be equal to, like, the intelligence agencies or these massive legacy media institutions seems crazy.
I mean, it does.
Being so nice seems, and every time she's like saying,
yeah. Like, don't you see that, like
how can
Theo.
you? Yeah,
it's Theo, and
so Theo has more power than these legacy media companies that are just backed by George Soros's billions of dollars.
Pharmaceutical.
That's what you're saying,
right? Theo.
Okay, talking about cocaine.
I was a goddamn owl.
Audience, that when you're saying we don't have power, we're not the CIA. Well, there's some gradations between that, and also I'm sure there's like.
Well, just you use the word establishment.
Yeah.
I didn't say that we didn't have any power or that audiences weren't powerful. But when you use the term establishment, I think that's more than just having an audience. That's having an institutional component that I don't think we have. But I think legacy media does. I think the government and the intelligence communities do. I think Hollywood certainly does. And I think all of those people, all of those power factions have worked together for a very, very, very long time. So to say that a few comedians with podcasts equal that seems crazy.
I see why. Okay, I understand.
I understand. Okay. It really is interesting, though, because nobody ever asks, like, why are, when you see how popular these podcasts get and how much influence they end up having, these conversations never go to why is it resonating with people so much. Like, clearly, of all of this, podcasts are based on numbers of downloads. People have to go on their phone and download the thing. So why are these viewpoints that people are so confused by resonating so highly with people?
They just don't want to find that out.
Right. Because that's truly the ultimate question. Mm-hmm. There's no trickery involved. There's no, like, magicians here. It's different ideas are resonating with large groups of human beings. So you have to go, okay, why is this idea? And by the way, if the idea is based on misinformation, why is that misinformation so prevalent? If the idea is not based on misinformation, why wasn't that idea kind of out there from the beginning? Like, you're not talking about the viewpoints or the ideas. You're talking about Tim and Theo and Joe, which is the wrong tact, Or look inwards and go, why are some of these ideals that used to resonate, that we talk about on our television show, not resonating with audiences anymore?
Yeah. I mean,
or even what if it's not ideals? What if it's as simple as this television format feels transparent, feels outdated, doesn't feel honest anymore? Podcasts as a format, not even political, not even with a viewpoint, but the format of a show like we're doing here resonates differently because there is a natural flow to the conversation. People believe this conversation that us in the room are having right now because it's clearly not a scripted kind of soundbite, as much as I talk in soundbites, soundbite, like 8-minute commercial break, boom, boom, boom thing. Like, what if it has a lot to do with the fact that people don't trust television formats in general anymore, because it feels like it was put on by
edited
somebody.
and planned.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And political or not political, that's how they work.
Yeah, I think people like long form interviews,
natural
conversations, unedited.
Where it's like sometimes you're not looking for the facts necessarily, you're looking for the vibe, you're looking for the essence of a person.
Sure.
You're looking at like, oh, you know what? There's just something about the way that guy talks. And we all know in real life, ask Travis's wife, tonality is important.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Why would you ask her?
It's not what you said, it's how you said it. Have you heard it before?
From her to me, about me.
Okay. Okay. And where do you get that? You don't get that on a
But I feel
4-minute...
like the amount of times that she says that, it's got to be a her thing.
Okay, but the way you said that in a very, like, see, the words you just said.
Yeah.
Just take that right there. The words you just said were fine.
Yeah, I heard them. Yeah.
Okay, you said both those things condescendingly. When you said a her thing, it was almost like you were talking down to her. And then just now when you said, yeah, I said them, you were talking down to me.
All right, the two of you.
And I'll tell you what, it made me hate you.
Oh.
In the moment. Not overall, but in the moment. I said, I hate that guy. And so I would imagine your wife feels the same way. And and you haven't said anything on paper.
Yeah, I didn't say anything bad.
That's worth hating you.
Read the transcript.
Okay, but I hate you again. See how that works? And that's
I don't know where the disconnect is.
Okay, it's probably on me. But that's to say, like, you know, maybe people don't want a pre-planned 4-minute questions pre-written thing anymore.
Well, people are also very tired of being talked down to.
Right.
People are tired of being lied to, blamed,
told what to do,
what to
say,
do,
what to think.
That's right. Even outside of politics.
Yeah.
What's the biggest? Tell me some of the biggest shows in sports in terms of just like talking sports.
Some of the biggest shows in sports.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee.
Boom.
Stephen A.
What's the biggest show in the NBA?
Inside the NBA.
Okay. Like, you just named 3 shows that don't feel like these are scripted network talking points. You're just getting an essence for the people that you are hearing information from and being a part of these conversations and at least feeling like you get a feel for who these human beings are.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's it, right? Sometimes it's just in the presentation. I mean, listen.
And also, it's not just like, hey, these Republicans are just going on these talk shows and like getting their voice out there, and then everybody's just changing their mind. Pete on Flagrant, great. Bernie on Flagrant yesterday, great. Like, all you have to do is just, go on.
Schultz has been pivoting, and it's interesting. He's doing a great job.
He knows what he's doing.
Like, he's going like, you know what? Like, let's just be a place. Because for a long time.
Because he's a lifelong Democrat.
Yes.
It's not like, he was this like alt-right guy forever.
But also it's like, it's backing it up, right? Like there are a lot of people who were like talking about Trump a lot, interviewing Trump, going like, no, we talk about everything. And it's like, some of them true, some of them false. Some of them it's like, no, you've kind of, and that's fine, but you've clearly fallen more into this category and gone like, no, these are my viewpoints now. And that's fine. But like, if you are going to be the place where you're going to have everybody on to talk, that's what we're seeing Schultz's podcast evolve into. And I don't think there's been anybody as good at evolving their show over time as Schultz. Like watching that show evolve into what it's become and continue to evolve is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Because most podcasts, when they start to shift and change, they're done. Like people don't like that change, but that slow evolution, it's a smart move. But you're right to what you were saying.
Yeah, you just have to go out there and don't be fake.
That's right.
Don't talk to me like you're just trying to get your talking points out.
Right. And don't be afraid of questions. And
don't be afraid of questions.
Ultimately, that's one of the things that killed Kamala.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was like, you can't have full conversations. Like, I think when people realized that the CBS interview was edited more than they thought it was, that was a big thing that stuck with people. I think when people were waiting for her to have that sort of unscripted conversation and it never happened, or it kind of happened on Call Her Daddy or whatever, it's like that wasn't the one.
Where they spent like $1 million to recreate a set. Like it was so...
Yes.
It was so created.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like everybody was like, when are you getting into Sam's basement?
Were people wondering that?
A lot of people.
That's weird. I didn't hear anybody. But we have different circles.
Yeah. No, and mine is the more sort of industry circle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's 100% right. It's 100% right. Yeah. I think that's the bigger thing, is that it's less about political viewpoints. I think everybody is just kind of over feeling lied to.
Oh yeah.
By anyone. And I think that there is a lot of room for both parties to stop lying to people and see how much growth there is. And look, this was bound to happen because they really thought we can just run Bushes and Clintons forever. They really thought.
And then someone tried to put on a hoodie.
I can't get out of it.
But I also think it has a lot to do, and maybe I'm overthinking it, but so many of these politicians are older, and it used to be so much easier to lie to the public.
Of course, because there wasn't this was the only exposure to media.
There were 4 channels,
yeah,
and no internet, and you read stuff in the newspaper, and you heard the news on TV.
I mean, it's really funny. I was thinking there was a time, and maybe Biden and his apparent cognitive issues,
alleged,
like
Jake Tapper.
I mean, there's a lot of evidence that they fell off that bike.
Let the games begin.
Yeah, no, you're right. But there was a time when, who was it? FDR was in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
and it's you would hide that, but if your legs don't work, it's easier to lead the country than if your brain doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is a different.
I've never run for office, but I would assume you need brain more than legs.
Yeah. I think so. I was a student council president in either 6th or 7th grade. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't terribly athletic. I used my brain way more than I used my legs.
Yeah,
and we got some vending machines in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
So,
no shit.
we
got shit done.
Well, I am the change, But also to that point, I think people nowadays would want to know, look, if the president's in a wheelchair, you better let me know that president's in a wheelchair all the time. I don't think people any longer, maybe they do, but the idea that there was a long time where you wanted this kind of almost fictional, powerful father figure in the office. And I don't know. I think people's humanity has just been exposed so much that you want somebody that's a little bit more relatable. I think maybe it's the internet bringing everybody together, not in the sense that we're all on the same page, but just in the sense that you have access to everybody and you have access to all the information that you don't want. We don't do that iconography stuff anymore. I mean, some people do with Trump, but Yeah.
But think how we were gaslit with Biden. You see him falling up the stairs. He's mumbling, screwing up his speeches. And then you go on the news and everybody's like, oh, he's fine. Behind the scenes, he's sharp as a tack. And it's
and then you see books coming out going you know what? I got news for you guys. Wait till you hear this. He might not have been that sharp.
Yeah.
And you're going, wasn't I saying that?
We were saying that.
And they were like, no. You thought, no. You weren't saying that. We're telling you now.
Yeah, it was a conspiracy theory that he's not all there.
You were crazy.
Yeah, you're the crazy person for thinking that.
And it does. It makes you feel crazy. You're like, wait, what?
I'm looking at this video of him going up the stairs and he keeps falling. There's something obviously wrong with this guy. It's no, sharp as a tack.
Which is why I can't trust Newsom when he's going we should be talking to everybody on podcasts. It's wait, that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
You said we shouldn't. We said that.
It's no, I think I said that.
I'm pretty sure that this is an idea that I just had, and I'd like to tell you about it. It's what the hell is going on?
Yeah. And you can even show them the footage of look, this is the way you took.
And they go yeah, no, I can see where you would take it that way. But I think you want to move forward with America and you want to do it in a way that, and you're like, wait a minute.
Wait.
Have we lost the conversation? What are you talking about?
How'd you get out of that?
Yeah, that was amazing. That was incredible. I feel like I could do it.
You'd be an excellent politician.
You think so?
Yeah. Even if you were just trolling.
Right.
And you were just trying to fuck with people and just spin people in circles and be like.
I think if I was trolling, it would be one of those things where people and that's just the way things work right now. Anybody who's really good at trolling, everybody forgets that it was a troll and then it just becomes the real thing. I mean, Trump was kind of a troll and then it just became real.
I mean, he's still a troll.
but it's also real.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't understand how that happened, but it happens. It happens all the time. So yeah, interesting time.
All right, it'll all get better.
I don't think it needs to get better. I think we're perfect.
You talking? Are you serious?
I think we're good.
Now that we're in the new establishment.
Everything's good.
Right. Okay.
Everything's great.
Yeah. I like the new establishment.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a break. Shout out to the establishment. What's wrong?
I got pissed so bad.
You do?
Yeah, you're doing these marathon runs again.
I had ideas that I wanted to share.
Well, we can get to it next.
yeah. I like that. You're like, look, this is all important stuff to talk about. Can we talk about it 10 minutes from now?
I got a tinkle.
All right. Don't worry. There's other important stuff to talk about. Stay right there.
We're back with Sam Roberts Show.
Get prepared. Like, are you? Because he's a big wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And so, like, when they said we knew that, and somebody on like Sunday, one of the people who work on that show was like, "Oh, we should get Jalen or Tyrese to do the podcast." And I was like, it felt like one of those ideas that you send out there because it should be said, but realistically, you're like, that's not going to happen. Like,
you'll get a note back saying Tyrese would love to do the podcast. Unfortunately, he's preparing for the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, after the season's done, we'll do it.
Yeah,
and that's awesome, and it'd be amazing. And then we get a text back late that night. Yeah, Tyrese is in, and I'm like, what?
That's how you know he's a real big fan, like a legit fan.
Yeah. And then I was like asking him, kind of, because elite athletes' brains to me are so fascinating because of the ability to laser focus and compartmentalize. Like that's the commonality in all these athletes. They have the ability to laser focus on the job that needs to get done and also to compartmentalize, because otherwise they'd be driven absolutely insane. Like the level of focus that you need on a football field, on a basketball court, I guess on a baseball diamond, but not really.
Yes.
Kidding, of course. I'm kidding. But like the level of focus that you need is insane. And also the amount of pressure. You're now talking about not only playing at the highest level, not only everybody seeing you on television, but the amount of money that's been invested in you. You're talking about millions of dollars. The amount of faith that is put in you to maintain this high level franchise, the amount of faith that's put into you in terms of the broadcast rights of the game. Like there's so many insane factors. And so I'm like, you got till Wednesday now before you have to play this game. Like, are you sitting there watching Raw? Are you saying? He was honest. He was like, look, like there's a part of my brain that the game is going to be in an omnipresent way. It's always going to be there.
Right.
But I do as much as I can before I get to the Garden to not have that there, to be like, that's going to be when I get there, that's going to be the game that I'm going to play. But in the meantime, I'm going to be playing video games. I'm going to be watching wrestling. I'm going to just...
It's like, how much can you do?
Right. And he goes, unfortunately, like, I do have my family texting me constantly asking about the game. Everybody's texting me asking me about the game. So it's going to be there, but
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he has a bad 2 weeks.
He was awesome, and I did tell him, I was like, good luck to you.
Specifically
I'm not hoping for your success necessarily.
You told him that?
Well, I mean, I've informed him that I was not going to be rooting for him to win. And he was okay. He respected it.
Yeah, he appreciates the honesty.
I think that I mean, it was so funny. My co-host Megan literally wore a Halliburton jersey to the interview.
Really?
And then pointed me out like, this New Yorker over here. I was like, you literally live in Connecticut. Like,
oh, but she's from
the Midwest. She's from Chicago. She claimed the Midwest around this Pacers player. I was like, you're from Chicago. They have another basketball team.
That's true.
But still,
that's true.
Still, I guess her allegiance is still greater over there.
She must be psyched about the Pope.
Super psyched. And she's a White Sox fan.
Yeah.
Super psyched. So yeah, it's
that's cool. I'll have to check that out.
It was a hell of a time. All these big things happening
for you.
Liver King,
Tyrese
Halliburton, all over the place.
You're on fire, bro.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, in a good way.
In the best possible way.
Hey man, thank you. Not like that guy who set himself on fire that time.
No.
On that Rage Against the Machine album.
No, that's
not like that.
Or the guy at Trump's court hearing or whatever.
Oh, that guy did do that too.
He burned to a crisp too.
Well, I'm glad he made such a difference.
But you're making a difference.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that.
Well, I mean, he's on fire. I don't know if he's making a difference.
I'm making a difference.
I mean, think about all the people that are listening right now that are happy.
I can't even imagine. I'm thinking about how many.
I'm trying to think about that.
Honestly, you know what it looks like watching that footage of those inmates that just keep running out and running out. There's just so many. There's so many. Well, I'll tell you what makes me happy. Fortnite updating. Is that on? The red light's not on. Boom. Look at me, bro. Handling things from every angle, dude.
I appreciate you.
Hey, you just checked it like 30 seconds ago.
I thought I put it on.
It was in focus.
But it wasn't recording.
It wasn't recording. See?
You're right.
Boom. And guess what?
No, you're right.
Boom. And guess what?
I'm glad I have you. I'm Boyazzi.
Bro, I do it all. Okay.
I guess you have to, right?
I'm a one-man band.
Your daddy do it all.
Bro. I've never heard that phrase before.
I mean, that's you.
That is me. That is me to a T. I would assume Miguel's got an Instagram story ready already that says Daddy Do It All. I am Daddy Do It All. I'm like Dick Van Dyke in the Mary Poppins movie. I'm playing the cymbals with my knees. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care. That's what I showed up to do. Right. All right? Don't worry. I'm telling you guys right now. Don't worry about it. Daddy Do It All got it.
Stop saying that.
Daddy Do It All got it. Okay? And by the way, that's going to come up again.
No, I'm worried.
You get paranoid about the other one. No. Go for it. Go check it.
You should be.
Don't record.
It is.
No, I know.
Is it in focus?
No.
Did you just make that one go out of focus?
He maybe did.
Back and forth?
I'm going to wait until I hit this topic.
Yeah, good.
Smart, right? Smart. Okay. We're turning this into like a live video studio.
But see, I walked in front of it and it's still in focus with Sam.
That's sick.
But we had an issue the other day.
I know. Everybody saw it on YouTube.
Oh, no, you put that up?
Well, yeah, but I used a lot of room footage.
Oh.
Smart, right?
Yeah, but because
Guess who solved it?
Hot dog.
Nope.
Daddy Do It All?
Hell yeah.
Stop calling him.
That's a nice ring to it.
I mean, I love it. I mean, Tony Burton's always like going like, what about this for merch? What about that for merch? Daddy Do It All is like,
there it is.
It's starting to ring my bell a little bit.
I love that.
I love Daddy Do It All. I also love that you get yourself out of a pickle with a little flattery, and it worked.
It really worked.
Wasn't that great?
I feel like you're not even mad at me anymore.
I'm not at all, because you made a good point. So, and maybe I'm also in a good mood because of what's going on in the Fortnite universe. So, Fortnite, they're constantly adding to the game. It's one of those games that is always evolving, always trying to stay up, because it's like, still one of the biggest games that there is. And one of the reasons they keep doing that is they keep finding ways to infuse pop culture into the game, which, by the way, you're seeing more and more. Like, I mean, we were just talking about Tyrese Halliburton. He's going to be part of the DLC in the new WWE 2K game.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the 2K25 that's out now, the next DLC pack has Tyrese Halliburton in it. You could just make him fight guys.
What about Jalen Brunson?
Don't know. There are mystery celebrity people in each DLC.
Oh.
So maybe he'll pop up, maybe he won't, but I know we got Tyrese.
What about Sam Roberts?
I wonder if there's a merch deal signed.
I mean, spoiler alert. Kathy Kelly's in the game, right?
Yeah. She's a playable manager.
Right.
You can't wrestle as her.
Okay, I would like to wrestle as Sam.
You would?
I would buy that game.
As or against?
Oh, against.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, am I going off a Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
You could end the match. Nope, we're going back up to Hell in a Cell.
We're going up. Yeah.
That would be. I would like to say to 2K right now, if you could put me as a playable character in the game, if only for the benefit of my staff, to kind of work out any sort of, because I don't like resentments harboring. And I feel like if at the very tip of the iceberg, not the tip of the iceberg, at the very base of the iceberg, when it just starts to build, if my staff could get home, turn on 2K25, and like throw me through a table that's on fire,
that'd make my life so much easier.
And you could probably come into work the next day like feeling fine.
Yeah, I'd be good.
Like, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
How's it going? Good to see you.
Oh, sorry, I was kind of a shithead to you yesterday. Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That feels like a Black Mirror episode. That like you would work out your issues on your boss by beating him up in the game, but then you'd find out that it was actually a clone of your boss that was feeling every bit of the pain, but then you still do it to get it out. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
That's like advanced voodoo. Would you be okay with that?
Just keep me away from any voodoo, bro.
Smart.
Right.
Advanced or not.
I don't care.
So Fortnite has been trying to do these pop culture collaborations, and they've done them successfully for a long time. They've had concerts in the game. They've had, Travis Scott has been in there. Everything's been in there. It's been great. And they put Darth Vader in Fortnite. And I think that's because Fortnite realized it'd be great. You get Star Wars fans all psyched about it. But also, Star Wars is trying to do a whole bunch of stuff during this month of May, for May the 4th, and have all these different crossovers and collaborations and build the brand.
The whole game right now is Star Wars.
Do all this stuff. It's a Star Wars Fortnite.
It's awesome.
Right. So Darth Vader, though, what's amazing about this is that Darth Vader is an AI-controlled character. So you don't play as Darth Vader. Darth Vader just exists in Fortnite world, and you can go up and interact with him.
Right. If you kill him...
Right. Rest in peace.
Then he, becomes part of your team.
And he just follows you guys around.
There's a Darth Vader in every game.
Right.
And if you get to him first and you kill him, then he becomes part of your team.
Right, so the reward is that if you get to him first and kill him, the reason you want to do that instead of the other team is because now you have AI Darth Vader following you around. And and you probably say, well, how is it AI? It's just a video game. What makes it AI is you can talk to him. Yeah. And I don't mean type it out using an Xbox controller. I mean mic up, because Darth Vader is mic'd up in the game. So you can literally say things to Darth Vader and he will say them back. In the article that you sent, Travis, that was the longer clip of I guess the first test of seeing if he would F-curse.
Oh, right.
Right. So there's a tweet in there. And of course, all that's happened is people have realized that all the excitement of Star Wars, all the excitement of the Fortnite collaboration, all the excitement of AI has gone out the window because young people have realized you can make the AI Darth Vader do things that are not brand friendly.
And how do you not?
I mean, it's immediate. I feel I already know what you're going to say. In the boardroom, you go, excuse me, sir, what happens when they make him say stuff that we haven't even thought of? And in the boardroom, the executives are like, why would they do that? They wouldn't do that. They're just going to ask him about the Force.
Every new piece of technology.
All of it. Can we make it curse?
Yeah. Can we make it curse? Can we make it say slurs?
Right. Can we make it curse? Can we make it racist?
And porn.
Can we make it do porn? And can we somehow relate it to brain rot? Those are the things right now.
How do you not see this coming?
It's cursing, racism, porn, and brain rot. That's all. I mean, if you took those 4 things out of the internet, nobody would know what to do with it.
No.
We'd be like, what is this even? What's the point of this? We'd all turn into Bryant Gumbel and Katie Couric going, what's the @ symbol mean? I don't understand. What is internet? As an example, this is this young lady playing Fortnite and discovering that AI Darth Vader repeats words that he shouldn't be repeating.
Me in battle.
What freaking fucking food is that, Darth Vader?
Oh
Tell me.
Double down.
Freaking fucking.
What?
Such vulgarity does not become you.
Not allowed.
They're yelling, that's not allowed.
You can't say that.
Fortnite responded to the tweet going, no, we've corrected this already. If fucking wasn't a word that was on your radar of words we should ban, I don't have any clue what was. What did you think they were going to do?
Yeah.
That's baseline.
Just ask them Jedi questions?
No. Why is your lightsaber red? Good question.
Excellent question.
And that's the other thing. They got permission from James Earl Jones's family. The late James Earl Jones. They got permission from his estate to AI his voice. But I don't think his estate really realized what happens when you get a bunch of Fortnite kids dealing with your late loved one's voice in AI form.
They're like, oh yeah, that'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
They'll probably ask him about Anakin. No, they won't. I mean, listen to this one.
Yeah, hang on. This is
Is this the? Oh yeah, this is the montage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spanish, a useful tongue for smugglers and spice traders. Its strategic value is very well. Hawk Tua.
Darth Vader Hawk Tua. I mean, you had him Hawk Tua. You don't want Darth Vader to Hawk Tua.
tour.
Like, this isn't bad for the brand, dude. You don't want this out there.
These skibidi toilets. Are they some new form of rebel alliance?
Can you raise me up?
If Riz equates to mastery of the Force, apprentice, then my Riz is unquestionable.
Riz and Skibidi toilet.
Skibidi toilet.
This is great.
Yeah. Ohio Riz Skibidi. and then it just goes on like because that's all you're going to want to do with him now.
Of course. You want more?
Of course I want more from Sigma Vader.
Or a farming. Are you suggesting I concern myself with trivial aesthetics? Hatsune Miku, you inquire about mommy ASMR. Explain this phenomenon. Does it involve lullabies or some other form of psychological manipulation?
No.
Tell me.
No AI.
Gritty. Is that some form of involuntary muscle spasm? Apprentice? I trust it does not indicate weakness. The bite of 87.
I mean, this is one of the many times I'm glad I have children, because I would not understand any of this without it. Like, my son will sit there and go, like, say something like, my wife will go, hey, go get whatever, go get your bag of chips off the couch. And he'll go, Mom, why don't you get it yourself? Boom, roasted. Oh, I'm doing the gritty. I'm doing that. I'm like, what are you doing? But the last thing in the world that anybody would want is to program Darth Vader to fall into the world of youth culture and brain rot. But I don't know. I guess they didn't consider.
But I mean, how do you just not even consider
that this would clearly happen?
The F word.
I mean, first of all, you have to, if you don't want him skibbity rizzing, you've got to understand that of all people playing Fortnite are going to try to get him to skibbity riz. But at the minimum, F-bombs? You don't put F-bombs in as banned words? Unless you're just like, yeah, let's just do it. Maybe they knew it was going to, become one of these things that people just had to sign on to the game to see what they could get Darth to say. But
so now, I mean, everybody's just racing to that area.
Of course. Because they want to get him first. They want to get him to now say racist things. They want him to get him to say curse words. They want him to, and if they can't, whatever they can't get, some kind of youth vernacular.
Yeah. Maybe I should get him today and have him say some stuff about Sam Roberts Show. Ask him what he thinks about the possessive apostrophe.
Bro, that's the other thing. Like, you can get Darth Vader to just do drops. Like, remember when that New York radio station got Kiefer Sutherland to just, they were like, can you just record a couple drops?
Yeah, like Fresh 102. Yeah.
They got poor Kiefer Sutherland, who's got this great voice, to just come in and record drops. That's what guests used to just do generally. You'd come in, hey, this is so-and-so, you're listening to this on this. And they got him to do enough of them that they imaged their entire channel using his voice. So like instead of just being like, hey, we have this promo that says, hey, this is Kiefer Sutherland, you're listening to this, it was his voice. And every time it said, Fresh 102.7. They were using Kiefer's voice. And he was like, you didn't pay me to do any of this. I didn't sign up for this gig. But yeah, I think we could do that with AI Darth Vader now. Yeah. Just go into Fortnite.
The possessive apostrophe is stupid.
No, he would think it was a good...
You think he would think it's cool?
He would think it was proper grammatical usage, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
It belongs to Sam Roberts. Yeah, I think it'd be good.
We'll see.
I think it'd be really good. Yeah, I mean, but they haven't taken Darth out of the game.
No, he's not out of the game.
Right.
But I do think that they're constantly patching what he's allowed to say.
Are they letting him keep saying skibbity riz?
I don't know, because that's not offensive.
It's not. Well, it is offensive to a lot of people.
Is it?
Older people are like,
why?
Knock that shit off, is what they say. That's annoying to me.
You mean the same group of people who grew up with like Pauly Shore saying God knows what?
Chilling with the Wheeze?
Are now like, what is skibbity riz?
Right. When it's like, no, not fat like F-A-T, fat like P-H-A-T, boomer.
Like, when do we get to this age where, like, all the shit that we did...
35.
Okay.
35 is the age.
Okay.
Where it's like, you know what it is? The age is when you realize that you're kind of getting passed by, which we're all there, like it happens, when you're kind of getting passed by, like the new stuff, number one, it's not on your radar until you see it in a print newspaper, which means it's been popular for 3 years and you missed it. So you missed it when it was actually new and you don't understand it. I think humans are hardwired to get threatened by it when they miss things and don't understand them anymore. And so they think that's not like it was when I was a kid. It's stupid now.
But it's exactly the same.
Skibidi Ohio.
Like Pee-wee's Playhouse was a fever trip.
It was a total fever trip.
And everybody's like, look at the shit they're watching now.
Right.
No, dude. It was the same. You just don't remember it.
That's right. Because it made sense when you were younger.
It made sense because you were a kid.
Right.
And this shit makes sense to these kids.
My kid, I mean, he's 6 years old, going up to houses at Halloween going, I don't know, man, that house looks sus. I'm like, yeah, it does, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
You know what? You're right. It does look sus.
Sauce. What is this sauce? Yeah, people
lighten up.
People were getting upset that Dora the Explorer was on the internet explaining to people what Sigma meant. You know about Sigma, Troy?
Well, hang on. Dora will tell you.
Yeah. They deleted it. You know they deleted it?
Oh, the thing that you sent me? Oh, but that's still up.
It was, somebody had to screen record it because whatever channel, I don't know, whatever channel Dora the Explorer is on. First of all, people already getting upset because it's not the same Dora the Explorer that a certain generation grew up with. Like, I'm too old to grown up with Dora at all.
For sure.
Like, by the time Dora came out, I'm not watching kid shows anymore. If you're my age and you know all about Dora the Explorer, you're a creep.
Okay. So
you're a bad guy.
I'll keep my mouth shut then.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Do not go public with that. Okay. But yeah, so people were already mad that Dora looks different. They were just upset by that. But yeah, she went, they posted I don't know, something on Instagram or something where she was explaining the word Sigma. And people got really upset about it, like to the point where they had to delete it. They were like, that's not my Dora.
Mike, I sent it on Instagram.
That's not my Dora.
Not my Dora?
Not my Dora. My Dora doesn't explain Sigma. My Dora doesn't get involved in brain rot culture. No. My wife hates it.
What, Dora?
No, brain rot. She can't stand it.
She doesn't like when your son says Sigma?
No, because she doesn't know when she's being made fun of.
Skibidi toilet?
She hates not knowing when she's being made fun of.
Okay, my wife's kind of the same way.
Right, where like my son will be like, Mom, you're like, so you're Skibidi Ohio. And she's like, that's right. Yes, I am.
Riley and I will say something, and Lisa will be like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Because your daughter knows, because she knows, and you do the research. You're a research guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, hang on, let me Urban Dictionary this before I agree to anything. Yeah. Yeah. So my wife doesn't know. She's busy raising the children. She doesn't have time to.
Yeah, she's got things going.
Yeah, she doesn't have time to Google brain rot words. So, when she gets told she's Skibidi Ohio and says thank you, doesn't realize she's being roasted. It's tough for her. All right, let's go back to the beginning of this. This is the video that got deleted because people were so bothered by Dora the Explorer explaining Sigma.
Own thing, focusing on their goals and not worrying about what others think. You can.
There you go.
Troy's gonna be lost.
Hit that, because you don't know about Sigma. Don't click it yet, Mike.
Yeah, just don't, the screen.
And you can click on the video to pause it if you need to.
Like, if I told you, I'm going to ask you right now, are you Sigma or you're not Sigma?
Like Sigma Pi?
No. Ugh. Troy, don't say that.
Cow pie. Sigma pie.
You're cow pie.
Yeah, bro. What are you talking about?
Oh, cow pie Quan.
Are you Sigma or you're not Sigma?
Just yes or no.
That's a trick question.
No, it's not. One answer. Yes or no?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. So here is, and Dora is jumping in for the boomers to explain what Sigma means. Mike is not. You have Instagram, bro?
Instagram's confused.
Hey, I have a super cool word for you.
Okay.
Sigma. Can you say Sigma?
Try it, Troy.
Muy.
Say it again.
Sigma.
Muy bien. Muy bien.
Sigma is a word for someone who's confident, independent, and does things their own way. Think of it as someone who's a leader and a trendsetter. Let's say your friend is doing their own thing, focusing on their goals and not worrying about what others think. You can say, you're such a Sigma. It means they're strong and cool, just being themselves. Next time you see someone doing something totally independent and cool, you can say, that's so Sigma. Now it's your turn. On the count of 3, let's all say, I'm a Sigma. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm a Sigma. Fantastico. We're all such confident Sigmas.
Right. So
it works.
And how do you feel?
I'm a Sigma.
Yeah, you are.
There we go.
Perfect, right?
I'm glad we have this.
Yeah, nailed it.
Now I know.
Thank God for Dora the Explorer.
Yeah. It's like I think the root of it is that it's based on the idea that it's one above alpha. We don't do alpha beta. I'm not alpha or beta. I'm sigma. I think that's the root. I can't be sure because it's not. I had to do my own research to find out.
Explain that.
No, not in that thing. I think Dora made it seem a little bit more nice. Brain rot words always have like a level of like I'm making fun of you, and maybe that's just because I feel threatened by it because I don't know it. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think we did it right. Say it again. What did Dora teach you to say?
I'm Sigma.
There you go.
That sounds nice.
It does, right? Yeah. So what exactly was the backlash?
I don't know what the problem was.
Well, I think it's just people being kind of offended. Well, I saw one post said Sigma. How about Ligma? That was funny.
That is funny.
Right? Nickelodeon's... That's from when we were growing up. Ligma.
Oh, is Sigma toxic male?
Is it?
Yeah.
Can a girl be Sigma or no? Yeah, it does strike me as like maybe a Nickelodeon executive that didn't fully grasp Sigma put this together. Because that is a problem with a lot of the brain rot language is that, people don't understand contextually. It's like any other language. Like, the word in Spanish for something, but if you say it in a certain context, all of a sudden it means something completely different. That's how we use language. Nickelodeon scrubbed its social media profiles of a video featuring the character Dora the Explorer after parents and viewers complained about her usage of a word typically reserved for adults. What are you talking about? If an adult was like, bro, you're so Sigma right now, I go like, you're so getting thrown out a window right now, you weirdo. Reportedly published early. It would be great to find out this was never published. Reportedly published earlier this month to the official Dora Instagram page and the Dora the Explorer Facebook page. The video showed Dora. Yeah, whatever. Okay, you can scroll down.
It's a male thing. That's why. Because there's alpha males, beta males, sigma males.
Anything male is bad.
But I'm so tired. Like this whole.
What about meta males?
No,
remember when you said meta
nobody
male?
says meta males.
Remember when you said that?
Yeah.
It was funny.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Like we've suddenly turned like slang into brain rot, and it's so stupid. Like every generation has slang words.
Of course. It's just
and now all of a sudden it's like.
Like people who take brain rot seriously, like it's really rotting your brain, is like it's just the slang word right now.
Yeah. It's like you say, it's like fat.
Fat with a PH. That is also a brain rot thing.
Yeah. But it's like
it's idiotic. All youth slang for all the groovy. That's idiotic.
Dope.
When something's good, you call it bad. Remember, It was like, why are you calling it that?
Why would you ever say that? Yeah. The parents would be like, what are you talking about, you idiot? All of it is, of course, 100% right.
But now it's like, this is destroying your brain, so it's brain rot. No, it's just slang.
It's slang.
Yeah. You skibbity toilet.
They don't even understand because they're so Ohio.
They're sus.
Super sus. Sigma sus. Yeah, so the problem critics alleged was that while the official definition of Sigma is defined by Dora as not negative. By the way, there's no official, it's a slang word. What are you talking about? The official definition of Sigma is in the Greek alphabet.
What does Merriam-Webster's dictionary say?
It's a Greek alphabet thing. What are you talking about? The word is linked with the manosphere.
Yes.
It is?
Like I was saying, like it's typically for a quiet lone wolf male figure.
Oh. Like dudes are Sigma. Like an incel?
No.
Oh.
No.
Are incels Sigma?
They could be.
Sick. An online
They're
group,
doing their own thing, like we learned in the video.
An online group of men who dabble in misogynistic theories and behaviors. Oh my goodness, I'm clutching my pearls. Tell me more about this manosphere.
I'm not really into it, I just dabble.
Oh my goodness.
Just dabble in the manosphere.
I'm dabbling in the manosphere. I've been dabbling in misogyny. No. I mean, this is, talk about pearl clutching. I would love parents to like read this article and hear their kids say like, Sigma, Ohio or whatever, and go like, you're not dabbling in misogyny, are you? I've heard about this manosphere. Not good.
It's won't somebody please think of the children.
Of course it is. But also people who don't have a firm grasp on things, like Joe Rogan gets associated with the manosphere.
Yeah.
Which is not the same crowd as the people. Nobody's listening to Joe Rogan is also saying, Joe Rogan's like going, hey, you know what's Super Sigma, guys?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Even though the video has been deleted from Nickelodeon's social media. And then Nickelodeon is like, I don't know. I don't understand. This criticism seems weird. This word seems weird. I'm confused. And you start to feel like you have Alzheimer's. You start to feel like you're just in your neighborhood. This is what it feels like. You are at home in your neighborhood, but you don't recognize the streets anymore. And you're like, I'm not sure where I am. You're junior, and you're going to this church where your meetings used to be, but now it's a church, and you're just sitting there in your bathrobe, not sure how you got there.
Because even some 20-something-year-old running the Nickelodeon social media probably doesn't understand a lot of this language.
Because it's not for you. Right. It's for younger people.
Yeah.
And there is this fear, because we're still like just getting out of the sort of let's cancel culture everything space, and you go like, let's put Sigma up. And then someone's like, wait, is that really bad? Should we cancel the network? Should we shut everything down?
Comedy's legal now.
And they didn't hear about comedy being legalized by Doge. It says this message was brought to you by Andrew Tate, one critic post. Imagine just trying to get something like fun for the youth, and then it gets compared to Andrew Tate. That's the worst thing you get compared to these days. One critic posted a notorious misogynistic and accused violent pornographer. Oh, in case you don't know who Andrew Tate is either.
Okay.
What kind of children's content is that? Another critic asked with confusion.
Does Andrew Tate say Sigma?
I have no idea.
No.
I don't know. Maybe. Now it says, I don't want to live in a world where backpacks giving red pill takes.
Okay.
Is Sigma red pill?
I don't know. Well, it's part of the manosphere.
And they dabble in misogyny?
Too many people have too many opinions.
That's right.
We're allowed to see.
And we take all of them seriously.
All of them.
And they're all earth-shattering. They're all going to destroy everything.
Every day you're looking for something to be mad at.
Right.
Why are you really mad at this?
I've heard, kids say Sigma all the time. I'm like, are you all watching Andrew Tate? Because everybody watched that.
Ask your son tonight.
Yo, are you watching Andrew Tate, dude?
Andrew Tate?
Because I saw that show on Netflix about the kid who watched the Manosphere. Don't do that shit, okay? Because that British father didn't see that coming at all.
Adolescence.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay? That kid was running around saying Sigma, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Now look where you are.
You're not going to catch me looking like some British father, not sure what happened. No, sir. Go to your room. Okay, you can take your iPad with you. One person said, we're teaching kids brain rot words. Nice. Yes, kids are going to learn brain rot words. It's youth slang.
It's slang. It's not the Queen's tongue.
When I was growing up, it was the Queen's English that we all learned. Really. You didn't use any slang that your parents didn't understand when you were growing up.
People just forget that they were kids.
They do.
They're all Peter Pan and Hook.
Right, but
they just all forget.
They forgot. And they go, well, no, but when I was a kid, it was different. No, it wasn't any different. It was exactly the same.
Exact same thing.
We're running through cycles. That's why this whole, bro.
If the music was the same, the language was the same, it was just different.
If you don't think this is a simulation, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know if I'm simulation thing.
It's clearly a simulation.
Well, how tell me?
I don't know if I'm going that far.
Well, because it's running on the same cycle the whole time. It's just one cycle the whole time.
Yeah, but it's just humans. Humans are humans.
No.
Yeah, we're just constantly creating.
It was just one little bit of code, and let's just run the same code over and over and over again.
Because I've heard you mention that a couple times. It's a simulation. I feel like you're really into this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I'm all ears.
Fine.
Tell me about it.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It explains everything.
Is that why kids are wearing baggy pants again?
100%. Because the fucking code is just cycling through again.
Because I see everybody walking around, and I'm like, this looks like me 30 years ago.
Right.
But isn't it like everything old becomes new again?
And also,
exactly, because the same little piece of code is just redoing itself.
But you have to have a generation that has to have their own identity. So,
did you trade phones with Troy?
Because Troy's like, I don't see a simulation thing going on. I'm like, bro, it is definitely a simulation.
Check the algorithm.
I'm not saying I'm against it. I know. I need you to kind of.
I know. You're pushing it to go like, I just want to make sure the's no holes in this before I adopt it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I might get on board.
I'm ready to adopt this theory as my own, but I need to make sure that I'm not going to get caught in a pickle.
And if you're saying this on the air,
yeah,
you've thought this through.
I have thought it through.
So
you're even more confident.
Well, I'm just all ears to hear your opinion on it.
It's just, I mean, it's the fact that we're running through another cycle, and we're constantly running through these same cycles.
How long is a cycle?
You know, I'm good with numbers.
Yeah. Well, I'm always good with a question.
I don't know.
20 years?
Yeah, probably 20, 25 years. I don't think that it has to. It's not exact because
there's slight changes.
Because unfortunately for us,
time is a circle.
Time is a construct anyway. So what difference does that make? You know what I mean?
So you're saying a simulation. So this isn't what us here right now is not real. That's what you think?
Probably not.
Like, what is it? A hologram, or is it?
No. Is
it like? Are we like in somebody's dream?
I mean, we're not designed to know.
Christoph?
Could be Christoph. No, that wasn't. I mean, that was kind of a simulation. No,
It was absolutely a simulation. They all had places.
I know, but I don't mean a literal simulation full of actors.
So this isn't real?
I don't think so.
Does anybody know it's not real?
I don't know. I do.
Who knows it's real, though? Who knows what the real thing is?
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm so confused.
I know. That's what we're designed to be.
Just to stay in the state of confusion?
Whoever knows that it's a simulation. Yeah. Maybe whoever's under that goddamn airport. I don't know.
Lizard people?
Could be lizard people.
Is this passed down by generation?
What?
Like the rule book, the simulation.
No, because they're not in the people who know it's a simulation are not really like in the simulation. They're watching the simulation.
And how does it continue?
Yeah, I'm confused. You got a lot explaining.
No. I'm not talking. I know how babies are made. I mean,
you know what I mean? Like
the simulation started
right
at some point.
Where?
Don't know. We're part of the simulation. How would we know?
Adam and Eve?
Who knows? Maybe Adam and
You're
Steve.
the one that brought it up.
Could be Adam and Steve.
No, Adam and Steve.
Very possibly. No, as part of the simulation, you don't know what's outside of the simulation.
So there is an outside.
100%.
Okay.
So there's a reality outside of this.
Yes.
That's like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Truman Show.
No, because Truman Show's actors.
Truman Show is actors.
Okay.
I understand what he's saying. It's the Matrix. You should watch the Matrix.
I have watched the Matrix.
Okay.
Yeah, but you probably didn't follow it.
I was years ago. I haven't seen it in 20, 25 years.
You didn't follow it.
Yeah.
Of course you know.
It's a little over his head.
Yeah.
Probably fell asleep halfway through.
He's like, how are they stopping those bullets?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Can you scroll up a little bit, Mike? We're talking about Dora.
They say anything about the simulation in this article?
I'm going to get Dora to talk about it.
Today's word is simulation.
This is the second time in weeks Nickelodeon has found itself mired in controversy. I don't know how mired they were if I really didn't hear about it. No. The first time was when the Children's Channel published a video in late April showing Dora teaching her audience the meaning of the word slay. What's wrong with learning slay?
Who cares?
I mean, we try to slay in here every morning.
I thought we did.
I thought we were slaying too. We might take out fries in the bag for slaying every morning. What's wrong?
the big deal?
I don't know what's wrong with slay. Let's keep scrolling. However, for reasons that remain unclear, Disney clearly never deleted the slay video. I know here's one reason. There's nothing wrong with it.
That?
It says, however, for reasons that remain unclear, Nickelodeon clearly.
Oh, okay, you said Disney.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to throw this whole article out the window.
Okay. However, for reasons that remain unclear, Nickelodeon never deleted. I saw the D kids never deleted the Slay video, despite it also attracting backlash. Can we see the Slay video?
Who cares about the Slay? What are we doing?
Yeah, let's look at the Slay video. You can probably just click on it in that article. Right?
No, I know what he's doing. Instagram doesn't work in
Gotcha.
Chrome.
Yeah, let's see Slay.
Works on Edge.
Nice.
Yeah.
Edgelord.
Grown-ups, today let's learn the word slay. Can
Nice.
you say slay?
Slay.
Muy bien. Slay
Gracias.
is what we say when someone is doing something really, really well. It's like saying, wow, you're amazing, or you're the best at this. Imagine your friend is dancing like this.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And
Slay.
you want to tell them they're doing great. You say,
You
you're
did a slay.
slaying.
Oh.
Or if someone has a super cool outfit, you can say, that outfit slays.
Oh, wow.
It means
That's
they
the
look
usage.
fantastic.
Oh.
Okay, now you try it. On the count of 3, say, you slay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You slay.
Great job, amigos. Keep
Thank you.
slaying.
Oh, that's such a good use of it. You know what I think is complaining? The children that are going like, you're causing the adults in my life to be super cringe.
That's probably what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not the manosphere. It's not that slay is bad. It's that it's increasing the instances of cringe.
Yeah.
You
Which
know?
I do on purpose.
Because it's funny.
Because it's funny.
Because it is, yeah, it works. It works.
I don't send my daughter Rizzler videos because she likes him.
No, it's because it's super cringe.
Yes.
I think that's all it is. Just people getting tired of just the kids getting tired of all the cringe going on in their homes.
Troy, you're slaying on the phones, by the way.
Slay.
I love Slayer.
That's cool too.
I don't-
That's cool.
I don't think
Seasons in the Abyss.
But I tell you, sometimes I look at Troy and I just go, Slay boy. That's good, right?
That's good.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. You send your daughter Rizzler videos?
All the time.
That's great. That's great. I support that very much.
We go to Costco. I don't let her get a cookie unless she says it the correct way.
Does she? And then do you take a taste and give it a certain amount of booms?
Usually 5.
Usually it's 5. I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, the Rizzler is at a point where he can do no wrong. During all the hoopla of the NBA playoffs, the Rizzler showcased his love for the Knicks, which was controversial because the Rizzler lives in New Jersey, but says he was born in New York. But in this tweet talking about how, like, you know, you can take the boy out of New York, but you can't take the New York out of the boy, and talking about how he still loves the Knicks.
It's like 8.
I know. There's no way he's writing these tweets. See, it's not him. But still, people are interacting with him as if it is him. Because he's an 8-year-old kid, but I think people are just like, no, he's an essence. You know what I mean? He's just a walking vibe. It says, we live in Jersey, but don't forget where we from. And he's got his Knicks merch right there, right? And so first people are like, I don't know, you live in Jersey, blah, blah, blah. But then they started looking more at this Knicks merch. And you realize it appears to be in Rizzler's room. That's where I guess that is, hardwood floors and everything.
The Riz room?
The Riz room, the Rizoom. And he's got a Knicks jacket, like a starter jacket type thing. And then he's got a framed jersey. And upon closer inspection, it is a framed Rizzler Knicks jersey from the celebrity game that the Knicks were in.
Oh, right. I remember the Costco boys and the Rizzler were there.
Were there, and he got to get on the court and play in this celebrity game. What really stands out about that jersey is it's signed by the Rizzler.
Oh.
So people said, look at this young king. He signed his own jersey and then framed it and then put it up. And then you know what they told him after that? Slay. Like, I couldn't believe anybody else who got caught signing their own jersey, framing it, and putting it up in their own room would be like, look at this asshole. Like, we hate this guy. Like, what, you're so full of yourself.
Signed it.
But the Rizzler did it, and it's in his little kid handwriting and everything. And everybody is just like, oh my God. Like, I can't believe how great this kid is. He's the GOAT. He's the best. And I found myself oddly respecting it as well.
No, he's the man.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. And if I were him, I would also be signing my own clothes and putting them up on my wall.
So much Sigma.
He's a very Sigma guy. Sigma boy. You know that song?
No.
Sigma boy?
No.
Yeah, the kids love it. It's really annoying.
All right. I'll play it for my daughter.
Hey, honey, I found a new song at work today. You don't know Sigma boy?
Me?
Yeah.
I already said no.
Mm-hmm. You know that song, Troy?
Listen to kids' music.
You don't listen to Kids Bop?
No.
Oh. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah.
It took me 10 years to find Baby Shark.
You like that song?
Kind of slaps.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you're like, you know what? I get what all this is about. You know? Yeah. I'm surprised. You might want. You should hear it though, because it goes. You could maybe you start DJing again. You know, you end up in the clubs. All of a sudden,
you're double platinum.
You put. I don't even know if the song is actually called Sigma Sigma Boy, but it goes Sigma Sigma Boy. Yeah, this looks like it. The Sigma Boy part. These kids, they love it. I mean, it's getting played in elementary schools.
Okay, it's a song by Russian bloggers.
Nice.
11-year-old Betsy and 12-year-old Maria.
They're awesome.
They released it in October.
Right.
Went viral on TikTok, charted on Spotify, YouTube, Shazam, Apple Music.
I'm trying to keep you guys up.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate this.
Yeah, I never heard this in my life.
I'm trying to keep you guys up. Somebody's got to get me. Jim McClure said he wants me to do other shows. I should be getting on TikTok radio.
Yeah, you should.
That's a no-brainer to me.
Because I'll say, you guys play Sigma Sigma Boy in here?
They're like, what are you talking about?
What? You're not up on Sigma Sigma Boy?
Oh, the song was written by Betsy's father, who is a composer.
That's cool.
In collaboration with a rock singer.
That's probably why it's like so like, you know, the tempo is like and it's clearly made to be catchy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they love Sigma Sigma Boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
No. I went. Go ahead.
Wikipedia says the song has been described by some as brain rot.
That's weird.
Due to its lyrics being seen as nonsensical because of the term Sigma.
That's totally. What are you talking about? Nonsensical. It makes perfect sense. It's
completely lost the plot.
It's a Sigma Boy. If you were Troy, if you were a younger man, wouldn't you love it if somebody said, "Oh, there goes Sigma Boy Troy"?
Of course.
Yeah.
You said it to me today, I'd be stoked.
Honestly, you should consider remaking this song for yourself and go Sigma Troy.
You know, it's not a bad
Sigma Troy, Sigma Troy. That'd be cool.
It's not a bad idea.
I think a lot of our listeners would be like, "Oh, I never knew Troy was so cool."
According to Betsy, the song 11-year-old Betsy,
right?
The song's meaning is, quote, the idea that Masha and I are so cool, and the Sigma Boy is trying to win us over, and we are trying to win him over too.
I mean, why did anybody ask her what the idea of the song is?
That's a big song. You want to interview the artist?
What does it mean? You know what? What I love about this song is that it means such different things to such different people, and I wouldn't want to spoil that.
She's also it's like Tarantino in The Briefcase.
Yeah, I want the art.
That's your song, and that's your song, and that's your song.
That's right. I want the art to represent what it represents for the people who are taking it in.
She also explained that, quote, the Sigma Boy is a very self-confident boy who doesn't need anyone. At the same time,
he's Sigma Troy.
All the girls fall in love with him.
Of course, because he's so Sigma.
He's Sigma.
Yeah. Would you love if all the girls were falling in love with you and you were like, what's with all this attention? And they were just like, it's because you're so Sigma. Wouldn't you love that?
Sigma Troy.
Yeah, before I got fat.
No. You're still Sigma.
Can you be fat and Sigma?
Yes.
I think so.
Because it's a mentality.
Right. But I don't think you can be old and Sigma, though.
No.
The problem's not that you're fat, it's that you're a boomer.
The times pass by.
It is what. And
that's okay.
That's right, because you're in a different phase as well. Yeah. You're getting to enjoy you get to enjoy a quiet day with your cat.
It is Toots Day.
It is.
Right. And don't feel like you're missing anything. How is Toots doing?
Good. Getting ready for Florida.
How's he getting ready for Florida?
Well, wait. Before you tell me, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to a weekly tradition here on Sam Roberts Show. Welcome to a Tuesday, Toots Day.
It's Toots Day.
He's silly and he's furry. His name is Mr. Toots. He's always happy and purry. That rascal, Mr. Toots.
I was taking out the garbage the other day in my home.
Yeah.
And I will never forget this. I don't think that moment where I pick up my garbage bag, you know, and I'm picking up the whole can, and as I'm picking it up, I go, that rascal, Mr. Toots.
That's awesome.
It was stuck in there.
Love that.
So last we heard on the last Toots Day, we were talking a lot about, of course, the pet gala and the regalness that Toots, who is your cat, displayed at the pet gala. So you're saying Mr. Toots is getting ready for Florida. When is the Florida trip?
Thursday.
Wow, that's exciting for your whole family. You, your fiance, Mr. Toots the cat.
Yes.
He
loves Florida.
He does?
He loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Sits out on the back porch, just roasts.
Oh, really?
Sweats. He doesn't care.
Takes in the sun.
He sweats. His belly gets sweaty.
Oh, and he likes that, though.
He'll sprawl out.
Oh, because he feels so at home.
Yeah, we have to. When we get down there, though, we are going to shave his butt and his penis area.
Why is that?
Well, because he does get like dingles. And sometimes, like in the middle of the night, like he'll go pee.
Yeah.
And then he'll like walk across my leg and I feel wet fur.
Oh.
So you have to shave his penis area.
Sure.
So we're gonna as soon as he gets down there, he's gonna get a bath and we're gonna shave his penis and
Is
his
this going to be like a father-son thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now you'll shave yours and then so he knows it's totally
Kind of
normal.
like when your dad teaches you how to shave.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
And so he knows it's normal. But the reason you're waiting for Florida is that because you know he'll be at ease?
Well, we have clippers. His clippers are down there. He has his own clippers.
I thought it was because you don't want him chafing on the plane.
No, yeah, no, you don't want that.
No, yeah.
But then when we give him a bath, he likes to sit out back where it's hot and he dries out quick.
Sure. And I would imagine too, just the psychological, like he's probably always on edge in New York.
He really is. Yeah, he's more relaxed in Florida.
So
nice
yeah,
Florida breeze on his shaved butt.
Right, and you need, if you're going to shave the privates, you need him to be as relaxed as possible because otherwise he'll snap and that's a bad thing.
You should have him do some art like Joe Exotic's husband.
That's smart.
With his little anal?
Yeah,
with
little
his
pet
shaved
art.
anal.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is he getting ready?
Yeah, what's he doing?
It's just like more of an excitement thing.
I got you. You think he knows?
He does know.
How does he know?
Because we tell him one time, were you ready for your paradise? You ready to go to paradise?
You tell him that? Are you ready for your paradise?
Yeah, that sounds
like
that's weird. Yeah, because that's you know the last person that said that was the guy in charge of Heaven's Gate.
Okay.
That sounds very cult ending.
Well, that's.
I believe it was. Yeah, while being attacked by the government, David Koresh yelled to the Branch Davidians, "Are you ready for your paradise?" Yeah. And so you're yelling that to your cat at home. Are you ready for your paradise?
Yeah, but in a different manner.
Okay.
And he understands that means.
Well,
I believe that through drug induced slurring, it was Jim Jones. Are all my children ready for their paradise? Drink up, children. Are you ready to see paradise? That was Jonestown.
Okay. Well, this is Orlando, so.
Sure. What was his name? Marshall Applewhite? Is that the leader of the Heaven's Gate?
Yeah, I think so,
yeah. I believe he said, "Get your sneakers on. It's time to go to paradise."
Okay.
So.
Well, get your leash on. It's time to go to paradise.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's excited.
Yeah, right. No.
You're not flying out of Newark.
Thank God.
Oh.
Okay.
You're just asking for trouble.
Does he do okay on the plane? Because I know there have been some disasters.
He does good. I mean, it's.
You drug him up, right?
No.
I thought you did. I thought you guys.
We used to do that, but then he would fight it, and then he'd get really in. So he gets more relaxed. He can be so
because he's straight edge.
He is straight edge. Yeah.
Edge.
He's nailed to the X.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's really sick.
No, like you kind of force him to go to the bathroom. You keep putting him in his litter box, and then he'll go to the bathroom before we go, and then he's usually fine.
Okay, good.
Because it's like an hour to the airport, 2-hour flight, 45 minutes home.
And you just remind him what? You know where we're going. What will you say?
You ready for paradise?
Which I feel like if I was in a cage, I'm just trying to think, like, if I was in a cage.
He's not in a cage, he's in a bag.
Okay, if my head was in a bag and I was like, oh, okay, we're just stuck in this car. I don't have any control over where we're going. And somebody just kept whispering to me, are you ready for paradise? I'd be like, oh my fucking God, this is it.
Well, you're making out to be creepy. It's not. It's he's excited.
It's not creepy. It's threatening.
But there's no threat. He's happier there.
Do you take him out on the plane?
Yes.
Does he get to walk up and down the aisles?
No, he has escaped and taken off. And
really?
Yeah.
I mean, I would tell you this. When there are animals on the flight with me, I'm elated by it.
Oh, it would make my day.
People who are annoyed when animals get on the flight with them, I don't like those people.
You should. There's been people that are like, I'm allergic to cats. I gotta get, and they're like hitting the bell to get. It's shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's right.
Shut up.
That's right. I don't care if that cockatoo comes on the plane. Like, bring all your animals. As far as I'm concerned, make it a goddamn
Noah's
petting
Ark.
zoo. Yeah, let's make it Noah's Ark. Let's bring 2 of each.
Yeah.
Oh, if I was in a seat and all of a sudden Mr. Toots wandered over to me.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't want to get off the flight.
Of course.
You know how much I'd love it if a dog just kind of, I didn't know where it came from, but it just walked into the little area I was sitting in. I'd give it all kinds of pets and stuff.
Especially something not threatening. It's cute.
As long as it's not barking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want.
No, I don't want some like
yapping the whole way.
I'd rather have a dog barking than a kid crying.
Good point. I agree.
Yeah.
Because if the dog's barking, you know what I try to do?
Break its neck.
What? I was going to say under the chin scooches.
Oh. That's okay. That's way different.
What would you would have done scoocha, right?
Of course I would.
Okay. All
It was weird.
He's getting weird, dude.
Wow.
That's just different.
It is different. It's very different.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that would bother me if I brought Mr. Toots on a flight and somebody was like not happy to see Mr. Toots. I go, that problem's with you.
Yeah. No, you're like, if somebody doesn't like cats and it's like weird about it, it's like, well, you're a fucking asshole.
Right. Like I don't think I'll ever be in a situation where I have a pet cat again. I don't like having pet cats, but like, what happened when I saw Mr. Toots? I'd give him pets.
I love Mr. Toots.
What's not to love?
Yeah, he's calm. He's cool.
It's also a cute animal.
I would understand if you're in front of or behind Toots and you're severely allergic to cats.
Listen, if you start sneezing, I believe you. But if I just hear you say I am allergic,
absolutely.
Show me a symptom then. That's what you should have said. Show me a symptom.
And he's been around people that are allergic to cats before, and there's never a problem.
Because people don't realize he's a magical cat.
Yeah.
He is a magical cat.
He's going to paradise.
He's a magical cat on his way to paradise, and he's taking the whole plane with him. I think that's what you know why that was in my head? I was watching the 9/11 doc.
Oh,
yeah.
I hope there wasn't any cats on those planes.
No, but they took him to paradise.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah.
I'd be so happy.
She wants another cat, too. She's on...
I'm going to tell you right now.
Finders. Oh.
How do you think Toots would handle that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because we've specifically we have a cat downstairs that lives outside, and she's like our cat.
Mm.
But we have specifically not brought her up because I know that my cat's not going to be down with that.
Yeah.
And like...
But doesn't she smell the outside cat on you?
Yeah, she doesn't care.
Okay.
But she doesn't... She's very...
That's a pretty Sigma cat.
Huh?
That's a pretty Sigma cat.
Oh, yeah. All the cats are Sigma in Staten Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. And also red-pilled and based. Because it's Staten Island.
But, Toots interacts with other animals.
He likes when animals are calm.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a calm cat, he'd be all right.
Well, he would...
So then you would have to get, like, an older cat.
Or a kitten that Toots would help raise.
Right. Yeah. Like, but Clarice
Kittens
is sending
are full
me...
of energy.
Just sending me cats. Like this cat, Christy Turlington.
Okay.
The cat's name is...
Christy Turlington.
It's a great
Gotcha.
name.
Yeah.
You think about adopting Christy
And
Turlington?
this other one. She look at all these pets that she sent her. She's like, look at this one, look at this one, look at this one.
There are worse things.
I'm like, you...
Oh, yeah.
You want another cat?
Those could be Louis Vuitton handbags.
I know.
Or like, hey, I figured out a way we can have kids. Okay?
Look at this kid. Look at this kid.
Right. Let's adopt.
No. I'll take the cat. Oh, you found Christy Turlington.
Is that Christy Turlington?
Wow.
Yeah. What an adorable cat.
It's literally the only thing you can find on the internet is cats.
Yeah, we should do this segment all the time.
But here's the thing.
Scroll down. Let's.
Is there any part of you, Troy, that realizes like these cats are coming in fast and furious? Furious is what I would say. Do you worry at all that like, okay, like, you two have kind of settled into your life together. There is a version of this that you become part of a cat lady house.
I think there's a version of him that wants that.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I want animals, but it's just like we travel. It's enough traveling with one cat.
You're in a small apartment.
We're in a small apartment.
Yeah.
If we lived in one place, had one house.
What if you start driving instead of flying and get one of those horse carriers, except you just fill it with animals? You know what I mean? That way they can go to and fro.
That's not a bad idea.
Thanks.
Or what if you move out of Manhattan and get a place that's big enough to house some animals?
But we still have to travel. We're traveling.
Where
a lot to travel.
What type of paradise would exist outside of Manhattan?
I'm just thinking about either Westchester or Staten Island.
I would go with one of those two.
Yeah, one of the two.
No, well, I know which one of the two.
Yeah, me too.
I'm good in Lower Manhattan.
No, you're not.
Are you?
You can't even close your bathroom.
Okay.
You can't close your bathroom. You're stressed out all the time. Your cat's on edge. I don't understand why you're telling me you're great. That's a crazy thing to say. And you're pissed off about parades.
That I'm pissed off. There was a parade the other day. I got caught in it. I mean,
Well, the idea that he gets caught in it because he's on foot and he's just like in the middle of a parade.
Well, because they block off a cross street and then they say like, I need to get to the other side. Where do you want me to go?
What was
like,
the parade?
I don't know. It was some stupid
bullshit.
Some bullshit.
Yeah.
Kids,
how about this?
Kids dancing or some dumb shit.
Bullshit of the week.
Yeah. I mean, it's one dumb parade after another.
Yeah, no, I get that.
That's right. And welcome. It's the beginning of parade season.
Oh, yeah.
They block off streets for fairs. It's like, come on.
Fairs.
You don't like a good street fair?
If I'm walking through it to get food.
Get some fried Oreos.
I'm trying to find my way back.
You know what's fair is leaving the street open for all of us to walk on it.
Open streets.
Yeah.
Throw this up in Central
Open
Park.
borders.
Wow.
Streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want all fairs to be in Central Park.
Yeah.
Tompkins Square Park.
Nobody's going to Tompkins Square Park.
What do you got all those parks for if you're going to put the fairs on the street?
Exactly. Make a loop around the park.
They don't do
Washington
that.
Square. Yeah.
We don't get down like that in the suburbs, really. We don't do that shit.
So she's pushing hard for another cat.
She wants another cat.
You got to get another cat.
I don't know.
How old is Toots?
Well, they think he's 9.
Yeah.
God bless.
Excuse me.
9 years old.
Yeah, some people will get another pet before the first pet dies. But Toots could live. I mean, it's not a dog.
I mean, Toots could live another
10
20
years.
I hope so. Or we'll just clone him.
Okay.
That's one. And sometimes you end up with
He's
3.
serious about that.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Nope.
No,
you were
because
serious.
the temperaments aren't the same.
That's
Yeah,
true.
they're completely.
That is true.
We found that out.
They're completely different
They're
animals.
completely different animals.
They might look the same.
That's why I said you might end up with 3 of them. Imagine you have 3 Toots.
And then you're just disappointed because you're like, this is not Toots.
Yeah,
there's
but
ways
you know
to
what?
fix that.
It's involved, but I have a way that we could fix that.
Really?
I gotta. You have to come out to Silver Cup with me.
Okay.
But I think we could get it done. All right. So Toots is getting ready for the big trip to Florida.
Yes.
Okay. Paradise. You bringing eggs on the plane or no eggs?
Oh yeah.
No eggs on the plane. I don't have an egg before. That was another thing. Clarice had to go do something, so he didn't get his egg in the morning. So he was pissed the other day.
He was mad
He was pissed, so he shit on the floor.
because he didn't get his egg.
He does.
He's the king.
He has the.
He's like, cool. I'm not gonna eat an egg. You can eat this.
Yeah.
Eat my shit.
Yeah.
And you knew. Oh my god, he shit on the floor because he didn't get his egg.
Yeah.
Or were you just thinking like that's what I would do? So that's obviously what he is doing.
No, he was. You could tell he was pissed.
He's litter trained. Well, he's litter trained. Why would he
that's
shit on the
true,
floor?
yeah.
Well, and in Florida, for some reason, we don't know why, but he loves to shit on the floor in Florida. And we have to.
Well, it's vacation. It's like
Right, you can shit wherever when you're on vacation.
Yeah,
Why is he
party.
shitting in the litter box?
He'll shit right next to the litter box.
He's a son of a bitch.
He is a
isn't
son of a bitch.
You know what he is?
It's spring break.
You know what we're talking about? That rascal, Mr. Toots.
Why he's a rascal.
Yeah.
And we have our whole bathroom in Florida. And there's aluminum foil all over the floor because the cats don't like to shit on the aluminum foil. So he'll shit right next to the aluminum foil.
You put aluminum foil all over the bathroom?
All over the bathroom floor.
Cats get freaked out by aluminum foil.
I know.
Well,
Those
also-
videos are hilarious.
Also, like, who lives in a house where the floor is
Yeah.
covered with aluminum foil?
What? Why?
Because we're tired of him shitting on the floor. So I think
Litter train him.
Bro, we have. He every once in a while he's just
He just makes his choice because he's a rascal, Mr. Toots.
Do you think one day he saw you shit in bed and he's like, oh, I guess we could just do this anywhere?
We do it wherever we want now.
I think I'm going to get a Ring camera. I'm going to put it in right next to his litter box so I can see. So I'll get an alert when he goes in.
Right.
Because you have to catch cats when they do it.
And then you put him in the box.
Like you can't take. It's not like a dog where you can take the dog and rub its nose in its shit and
Right.
knows what it is.
You're actually not actually supposed to do that.
You're not?
No.
Okay. Well, good thing I don't have a dog.
Right. Because that would have been news to you today.
Really? How do you? I thought you always that was like a thing. You
No.
take the dog's nose and put it in the shit.
No, that's like actually like abusive.
Yeah, you don't physically rub the shit onto the dog's nose.
How do you teach the dog?
You take him
kind of-
outside when he starts going to the bathroom.
When he starts going to the bathroom, you take him outside. If he does it, if it's in time, you say no, 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 and then you bring him outside.
What if he shits on your floor?
Yeah, that's part of the process.
You say no, 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 and then you kind of bring, and then you point to the shit. You kind of you try as best you can to associate the shit, and then you bring him outside.
I mean, I would have no luck with Toots. Wouldn't even know what. I don't even think he. I
mean, if you can't,
doesn't even know what he just.
If you
did.
can't litter train a cat, you can't house train a
No,
dog.
he's litter trained. He's just being a rascal.
Who?
Mr. Toots.
Oh, I see.
So when he gets down to Florida, he's just kind of like, hey, I'm shaved. I'm shitting everywhere. Let's have a good
That's
time.
what he says about Florida. He goes shaved and shitting.
You should get him a shirt that says that.
Yeah, how are you doing? Shaved and
Shaved and
shitting.
shitting.
I mean,
How
it
you
sounds
doing?
like he's living it up down there.
Yeah.
Oh, he has a great. He loves.
But then when he gets back up here, he shits in the litter box like normal.
Literally, he's fine all of the time. Except the other day he didn't get it. We think it's because he didn't get his egg,
Probably.
And it sounds like it.
and he's like, "Okay, motherfucker."
Same litter down in Florida?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. We're not sure.
Interesting.
I think he's
What a
just-
rascal.
I think he's just being a rascal.
Yeah.
How old is he in human years? Maybe he's just acting out.
He's in his 50s.
Oh, okay.
That's when my dad started shitting his pants. Right in his 50s. That's why he had to retire. What's going to be your first meal when you get to Florida? Because they have all the great restaurants there.
I think I'm going to get back in time. I might get a Publix fried chicken.
Especially, don't they have Restaurant Row down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the way to the airport.
I mean, there's so much good food down there.
Everything you could ever want. I've never been like... I've never thought of a restaurant that I want, of every restaurant that exists on the planet, that I've never thought of a restaurant that I wanted to go to and have it not be in Orlando.
I'll tell you.
They have every single one.
That's where that Willy Wonka song about paradise comes
Who can make the sun? Yeah.
Orlando's food game is definitely jumping.
Yeah. They got all the restaurants.
It's incredible.
But you're talking like chain restaurants.
Yeah.
What are other restaurants?
Well, there's like there's where I love this Indian place, Bombay Kitchen.
Okay,
That's down there.
Whatever.
Cool.
Taste of Chengdu is the best.
Taste of these nuts. Let's get to Chili's. That's what I would say. You want to go to Taste of Chengdu? I'd say taste these nuts. We're on our way to Chili's. You're like, we literally went there for lunch. I'm like, yeah.
But you got to go to the Baldwin Park location of Taste of Chengdu. Not because
what is it?
Huh?
What is it?
Chinese food.
You're saying it's better Chinese food down there than in New York?
The Taste of Chengdu in Baldwin Park is on par with anything in New York City.
Do you ever try P.F. Chang's?
It's pretty good.
Panda Express?
Panda Express good too.
Try that in the airport.
I hear the airport is like extra good.
There's a couple of them. You know where I got Uber Eats from?
Where?
Yesterday?
Where?
Dude, what are you doing?
Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, nice.
It was so good.
What'd you get?
I got chicken, I think they call them chicken critters. Whatever their name.
They got a Texas Roadhouse by you?
Oh, yeah.
I gotta go because it's blown up now.
Texas Roadhouse rules.
Yeah.
I got I think they call them chicken critters. They're like chicken, whatever, fingered, whatever. That's their version of chicken tenders.
Right.
So I got the chicken critters.
Oh, yeah. Chicken critters.
They call them chicken critters? Yep. Chicken critters, 2 sides.
Oh, what sides?
I got the steak fries.
Good call.
And they said, what do you, and oh yeah, chicken critters, steak fries, ranch, and buttered corn. Not on the cob.
Damn.
A big, nice serving of it, too.
Did you get the rolls with the butter?
I was looking to see if I could order the rolls, and I didn't see it. I ordered pretty quick.
Oh, I would have made that a note. Make sure there's rolls with the butter.
Make sure because people love that rolls with the butter.
I mean, that butter is just incredible.
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Cinnamon butter or something. You know what I'm talking about? You ever
No,
had that?
we
You
got
never been?
No, never been.
You never been to
I'm
Texas Roadhouse?
I'm like Grimes.
You guys want to come over?
Yes. I could come over?
Yeah, but Mike, you could come over, too.
Oh, so it's
just make sure Travis doesn't do anything weird, okay?
That's hard to prevent.
Yeah, I know.
It's very, very hard to prevent.
Can I bring my family? Because Riley really wants to go to Texas Roadhouse.
No, but your family can come separately without you.
Shit.
Actually, you can't come. Your family can come.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Can I drive them?
You can drop them off.
Can I get some to go while I'm there?
You can wait in the parking lot for us. You cannot get to go.
I can't get to go.
No. You can eat your family's leftovers, but
there won't be any leftovers.
Then that's all there is to it. Yeah, that's what it was. It was chicken critters with the steak fries and the corn. It was so good.
That sounds delicious.
They got good corn?
Yes.
Better than Boston Market corn?
Yes.
Because you know Boston Market corn.
No, it's good. It's because it's buttered, but also seasoned.
Oh.
And
okay,
it's like, it doesn't taste like, it's not like, it's just not shitty corn. It tastes like good corn.
Crunchy?
Yeah, there's a
love a crunch.
There's a form to it.
Good. Love that.
There's a right amount of form. It's not like a mush.
I don't need a creamed corn yet.
No, it could be microwaved. It doesn't taste like microwave is the point.
If it is, it's fine.
I don't care. Tell me how it tastes.
Yeah.
And with the tip, what'd you pay?
It was expensive.
Yeah,
You want me to tell you?
was,
I'll look it up.
Uber Eats.
You like? Yeah, I know you like it.
outrageous, man.
I know you like it when I look it up. Let's see.
I just like that money ain't a thing.
It's
You know what I mean?
nothing.
This is what I want. This is what I'm getting.
And do you like too that you're like, how much was it? I go, I have no idea.
I have no fucking idea.
I have no clue.
Couldn't even tell you.
Who even looks at the price tags? That's what I say.
You just hit order and then put your phone away.
Done. What do I want to eat? That's all it is to it. Oh, what did I hit?
We had a busy day yesterday.
I had a very busy day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got to treat yourself.
Had to.
Yeah.
I found a window and said Texas Roadhouse. I'll hook it up.
You ate this before you were talking to Tyrese Halliburton?
After, because
After?
Well, we taped it before Raw.
Oh.
Yeah. Taped the interview before Raw, and then did the
nice.
others. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. It was.
Can I guess? Can we guess?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
Okay.
All in with tip and everything.
Yes, I'm going to round to the. If it's okay with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't need to round to the nearest dollar. I got it. I figured it out.
Okay.
I did the math.
With tip. Okay.
With tip?
Go ahead.
I'm going to say 55.
I'll say
for 1. No, just for me. For
Yeah, I
one.
know.
Okay.
I'll say 45.
Okay.
Mike, do you have a guess?
I'll give you 60.
$60 is what you're thinking for chicken critters, steak fries, butter corn, side of ranch, and a beverage.
And a beverage with the Uber Eats tax, with the tip.
Delivered by George.
Delivered by George. George or Jorge?
Don't know. Didn't talk to him.
Was it a J or a G?
It's a J.
So it's Jorge.
A lot of people go by George.
They do. You're right.
Yeah, because they're trying to fool you.
Well, I don't know if I was being fooled or not.
Yeah, I'll stick with 55.
All right. Well, I got myself a deal. It was $37.06 with tip.
$37.
That's a lot.
$37.06, and you
Not for him.
I didn't even
Feel it.
You didn't
bro.
feel it.
No.
Didn't feel a thing.
37's a lot. You know, DiGiorno is like $5.
I don't know. If you had said how much is a DiGiorno, I'd say $40. I don't
All
know.
right, Bill Gates.
You know what I mean? That's the life I live. And one time, my wife was like, "Can you pick up some Totino's pizza rolls?" I said, "I don't have $55 just sitting around."
Yeah, what do you think this is?
She said, "They don't cost that much." I said, "I had no idea. I'm out of touch." You know? Yeah. So yeah, it was $37, but you know,
Money ain't a thing.
and I don't regret it. I really don't.
I wouldn't either if I was you.
Is it still warm by the time it gets there?
Yeah, because it's pretty close. It's a good question, but yes, it's pretty close.
And it's not like soggy from like the.
Also, they forgot to pack my drink, so I did get a $4 credit.
Oh, nice.
So
you didn't get the roll though. I'd be pissed. I mean, that's complimentary when you sit at the table. They bring.
I got to look into. Yeah, I should have done a better job. I've ordered pretty quick. I should have done a better job of figuring out where they might have the rolls to add in.
There has to be a note, right? Like note to say, make sure you have rolls with butter.
Put the rolls and the butter in there,
because that's complimentary.
And I'd say they're
rolls in the bag.
Put the rolls in the bag. Just put the rolls in the bag. And I'd say it's complimentary in restaurant, so I don't want an upcharge on this, because this is basically the same as in restaurant. Is what I would say.
We'll get the rolls when we go.
Yeah, because we'll dine in.
Nice.
And they just keep coming. You ask for more, they give you more.
Right.
I'll just eat rolls.
You could.
I'll do that. I'll fill up on rolls before I even get.
That's really smart.
Bread's dangerous.
It is.
Because what you do is you fill up on rolls, and then you just get a side. It's a nice cheap dinner for yourself.
I'll just have corn.
And they're like, okay, and what? No, just a side of corn, please. Yeah. That's it. And water.
Keep the rolls coming.
Yeah, and a bunch more rolls and butter.
But I always get the cowboy cut, I think.
Yeah, I gotta go. I didn't know I was like the only one.
I can't believe it.
Oh, yeah.
There's none in Staten Island. There's none close to us outside just like Jersey.
But I'm in Allentown, man. That's my spot with my mom.
All right.
Nice. Your mom likes it too?
Loves it.
Does she get a steak?
She does. Or salmon.
Nice. Because Texas Roadhouse is a kind of like a upper tier establishment as far as the chains go.
Absolutely.
It's number one now. It took over Olive Garden.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why it's like blowing up now. Like it took over Olive Garden's spot as like the number one chain restaurant in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
I could see why. I mean, I'm still a Chili's guy, and maybe tomorrow. I won't keep you guys any longer.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be here forever.
I won't keep you guys any longer. But we should address the fight that everybody's been talking about, the rivalry on Twitter.
Oh.
Between Chili's and TGI Fridays. Because TGI Fridays, I think, way overstepped. Because TGI Fridays is viral right now because their mozzarella sticks.
Oh, yeah, they look good.
Well, the stretch is a big thing on TikTok.
Okay.
You didn't know about that?
No.
All right, then I better stop there.
Okay.
I'm going to stop there.
We'll do a deep dive tomorrow.
I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. And I'm talking to the audience. I'm not going to keep you guys any
Talking
longer.
to everybody involved.
Everybody involved. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer.